here. It's big, and it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone, welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hanson. I'm here tonight with Jennifer Bankston, the beautiful Jennifer Bankston, which we saw play last night in this game. Dave Tuckman is in Las Vegas. He will be back on Thursday. We're playing another 5-5 300 min, $500 max game. Got a lot of new players. We have a guy, seat number 3, Avi, who is here from New York, and he's playing in the game. He's a Jewish guy from New York. He's the guy that always emails in and says live at the kite.
Oh.
But he can do it because he's Jewish.
Of course.
Yeah, we've heard that on the show. And we've actually got the Boston Globe Patriots beat writer, Jerome Solomon, in the game. So this should be fun. Let's head over to the table and let's get into it. Let's start off by introducing the table. Seat number 1, fresh off of a big win from last night, we've got Matt. Seat number 2, we've got Eric, who plays in this game regularly. Seat number 3, we've got Avi, again, fresh from Staten Island. Seat number 4, we've got Action Irwin. He was on the show last night. Seat number 5, we've got Herb. Seat number 6, there he is, Jerome Solomon, beat writer for the Globe for the New England Patriots. Seat number 7, new player Tony. Seat number 8, we've got Alan, familiar face at Live at the Bike. And seat number 9, we've got Hugh. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And right off the bat here, Matt's picked up a big hand. He raised it pre-flop with pocket kings. It's a ragged board. He bet 30. Now, Herb is going to check raise him here with ace-8. Wow, look at that. Matt made the continuation bet, and now you wonder, Matt played with this guy last night. Would Herb really make a check raise here with a 4? This is why it's really difficult to fold over pairs in this game, because there's so many things this guy might do this with. He might do it with 8-7. He might do it with pocket 9s. He might do it with pocket 10s. I can't imagine that Matt is going to fold here.
Oh, not a chance Matt's going to fold.
Let's see if he's going to call and let the guy lead right into him. How do you extract the maximum value? These guys are both deep. And Matt here, he's going to re-raise. Jennifer, I don't know if I like this play. I'm always a pretty big proponent of fast playing, but there's nothing out there that's really going to kill your hand. If the guy already has a 4, you're beat. The only thing that might hurt you is an 8 or obviously an ace. It's an unconnected board. Why not smooth call there and let Herb force himself to lead in on the turn if you smooth call the check raise? That's why it's so difficult to check raise with a hand as weak as ace-8 on that flop. Because if the guy calls you in position, then what?
Yeah, I agree. I would agree with you. Smooth call, let him lead into you on the turn.
So the action's over to Herb, and it looks like Matt made a minimum raise back, 145, and Herb's hand is absolute garbage here. This is part of the reason why you don't call raises with ace-8 offsuit out of position. That's a pretty solid player. I assume Herb is not going to continue on here.
Yeah, what's with the acting job? No
145
way.
more. Well, I got to tell you, Matt's fast played this hand. I just don't know what he's scared of. If he gets all the money in, he gets all the money in. But at this point, if Herb comes back over the top of you, does this guy really have a 4?
Now that's what I'm thinking. Maybe Matt made that raise to find out. Does this guy?
And this guy is going to re-raise. He's going to come back over the top, try to represent a 4 for 300.
No, that's really in the tank.
Now, the only thing that, obviously another hand Matt can't beat is pocket aces. You rarely see somebody just smooth call with aces. We see it in a bigger game. If Matt raised, maybe you smooth call with aces, but I think somebody else called in between Matt. So it's not like it was heads up where if I pick up aces in the big line, Matt raises, where heads up, maybe I can play it coyly as just a call.
Right.
There was a guy in between. I would have think that Herb would have re-raised pre-flop. And Matt, he's going to push.
He's committed then.
And let's see if he's just going to call here or he's going to push all in.
Yeah.
He's going to push all in here. And again, again, I don't really see the value here of making the move unless he just sees that Herb is committed anyways. How are you going to get called? I guess at this point you are going to get called with ace-8, but I would want to get him to force a move in. And this is unbelievable. This pot is going to be $1,700. Herb has committed all his money with ace-8.
Yeah, he just got caught and he should have let it go. He made a move.
Well, the turn's a queen. Herb needs an ace or an 8, and the river is a queen, and Matt is going to win it here with kings and queens. Kings and queens beats queens and 8s. I just cannot believe that guy committed so much money with ace-8. And again, when you play a deeper stack game like in a 5-10 game, Matt might have to fold there if that guy's 3,000 behind and Matt's 3,000 behind with a paired board. But in this game, the play is not as advanced. That's why I say, I don't think it's really correct that often to be laying down overpairs in this game. Just because of what we saw right there.
Yeah.
And the other thing that Herb has to realize is that even when he raises, he comes back over the top and Matt calls. Matt's committed to the hand now. We're dealing inherently with short chip stacks in this game. What a big overcommit there.
Wow, I never get gifts like that.
Now, Jennifer, we saw you play pocket jacks 3 times yesterday and picked up big hands. Did you flop a set or you had a set at some point all 3 times in those hands?
Yeah, that's true.
Really an unbelievable display.
And I misplayed 3/4 of them, or a third of them.
Now we're playing 5-5 blinds. The yellow chips are $5 chips. Pot is limped around here. Queen, 7, Jack, Rainbow on the flop. And it looks like Matt's got the best hand here. He's actually in position. Let's see if he throws a bet out here with second pair. Actually, he's got one guy to his left, Eric. And Eric is a pretty tight player, so.
Matt, that's 20.
Yep. Matt throws a $20 bet out here. Well, now, Hugh has got the bottom end of an open-ended straight draw here. He makes the call, and there he gets it. Turns an 8. And look at this. He gets there and he checks. And I'm a little surprised that Matt, maybe Matt intended to bet and fold to a check raise here. I guess the board was,
already in muck.
There you go, already folds. Again, I wonder if Hugh actually led out there on the turn, would Matt have called? Maybe not, he only has second pair. But would he have called with a hand like King-Queen? Whereas if Hugh plays it as a check raise on the turn, Matt's probably going to muck King-Queen.
Right.
We always talk about this game, it's almost similar to some of the smaller stakes limit games, where if you get raised on the turn or on the river, one pair is rarely good. The butt moves here to seat 5. And there's Jerome in the small blinds. Alan's in the big blind. Boy, Alan is really, really tight. I actually lost about $800 when I came to the casino this afternoon against Matt. 2 flushes over flush.
I heard.
Did you? Already?
Yes,
You
I
heard?
did.
Yeah.
125 all in.
Well, there's a couple of limpers here, and this is another play I never understand. Herb is going to move all in for $125 here, Jennifer, from the button. Why not just rebuy? Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, unless he's going to play a short stack. I don't necessarily know if that's the hand you're going to push in with. He wins himself $15 with the king-queen offsuit.
Alan should have taken the rest of those chips.
And again, we've got a lot of special things happening tomorrow. Liz Lou is going to be in the booth here, guest commentating.
Matt, Bart, that's going to be fun for you, huh?
Very, very fun. We're going to get, we're going to be doing our random drawing for a guest commentator promotion. $500 buy-in to this game. You get to guest commentate with me. Plus, you get a 6-month subscription extension on your archives. We're going to draw that tomorrow. Anybody who is an archive subscriber is eligible. You still have one more day to sign up for the archives. Or did we cut it off already for the drawing? We're ending tonight. Avi is going to bring this one in with pocket queens. Avi was playing in my 5-10 game earlier. He started with 500. He ran it up about 2,000 this afternoon. Now, Alan calls with ace-10 suited, and Herb is in there with king-jack. And, Alan's flop trip aces here. Avi's going to make the continuation bet. Again, we always talk about, I don't even know how strong Alan can play this hand. I mean, would you necessarily go broke on this hand with ace-10, Jennifer? He's going to check raise. Really, someone moves over the top of you, you're going to automatically call with ace-10?
It depends on how deep. I mean, is it 110 going broke or is it 300 going broke?
So Alan has made the check raise here with the ace. Navi is thinking. if we did see another ace and a card lower than a 10, it would be a jackpot. Bad beat jackpot. Aces full. Or, excuse me, 4 aces. Beating aces full of queens. And look at this. Avi's going to make the call, and he is drawing to one of the 2 remaining queens here. And I don't know how Alan's going to continue on. It's a $400 pot. Once this guy calls, now the turns is 7. Well, Alan really doesn't have that much left. I guess he's thinking, so be it. If the guy's got a better kicker, he's got a better kicker. But we always talk about this in a deeper stack game. Ace 10 here is vulnerable to obviously somebody having trips with a higher kicker. He's going to bet 125. He's pretty much pot committed himself. I'm sure Avi should figure that out, unless Avi thinks that Alan is check-raising him with a flush draw. But Avi watches this show a lot. I mean, Alan's going to be one of the most solid players we see in this game on a regular basis. I don't think he check-raises there with a flush draw, with 2 aces on board, with a paired board.
Definitely not.
See if Avi's going to get stubborn. Pot is $400 plus 125. It's a $525 pot, 125 to call.
He must be thinking there's no way Alan's raising him with.
And Avi's going to call. Well, we need to see a fourth ace here for the jackpot, and it would play. If we see it, it will be a bad beat jackpot. If we see another ace, here we go. It's a queen! No. And Avi sucks out. He's got queens full. Alan moves all in, and it's probably going to be a quick call by Avi, and Alan gets sucked out.
I cannot believe it.
He gets sucked out on.
And that's exactly why we don't slow play for jackpot purposes.
And there it is. That's going to be over a $1,000 pot there. Again, I always talk about, you know, if Avi had ace-king, ace-queen, or ace-jack, the hand would have played out in the same manner. Sometimes you get into trouble when you call raises with ace-10 and you flop trips. I mean, that's why I'd feel more comfortable going heads-up against a raiser if I have 7-8 suited and I flop trip 8s. I don't put the guy on an 8. But if I call with a weaker ace and it comes ace-ace on board, how much money am I going to lose with ace-10?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Definitely something to think about. Obviously, Avi just didn't believe that, Alan, and I'm surprised. Because I know that Avi watches the show on a regular basis. He is familiar with Alan. Plus, he had a read, and he thought that Alan was just making a move.
Yeah, it's like
with a heart draw.
Wondering what did he put Alan on that queens could beat.
I mean, maybe Alan does it with pocket 9s or pocket 10s or pocket jacks. Obviously, he beats those hands as well. Now, Matt has brought this one in for a little bit of a raise. He makes it 20 to go. Pocket jacks. We're going to see, what is it, 5-way action. It's a $100 pot. And, well, queen deuce here for seat 4. Erwin called the raise, and he's hit top and bottom here. And it goes check, check, and the turn's a 3. Erwin gets counterfeited. Now he loses to any queen, and now he's going to bet. Well, it got checked around. He's going to bet 55 now. Obviously, he's vulnerable to an ace or a king or a jack coming. Even ace rag beats him now if an ace comes. It's a $55 bet. The action is over here to Tony with ace-king. And he's thinking, is this guy just taking a shot at it? Do I have the best hand here? And he makes the call. And his overcards are pure right now. The pot is $210. Look at Erwin. He looks sick to his stomach. Well, the river's a 9. See how this one's going to play out. Wow, I'm shocked that Erwin's betting here.
He shouldn't bet. He's only a call if he's beat.
Pretty much. I mean, unless he thinks he's going to get a weak queen out of there. But again, at this level, I just don't buy it.
Right.
And he takes it down. Yeah, and he got counterfeited there on the turn. Called the raise with queen deuce. Did not bet the flop. Horrible turn card for him.
6 playing 200 behind. 200 on 6.
And going to get word that Jerome is rebuying for 200 here behind. And Jerome is originally from Houston. I think he started his writing career, or he's originally from Texas. And now he is the beat writer for the Patriots, BostonGlobe.com. Anyone from the Boston area like me, pretty big deal. I still think the Patriots definitely one of the top 5 teams going into the NFL next year. Other people on the staff would say that it would be the Raiders. I would laugh at
say
them
that?
hysterically. Pocket 10.
We don't know anybody who would say that.
By Erwin.
Deuces comes in.
Hugh is going to call. It's a $60 raise, and boy, Hugh doesn't have the money, or Erwin doesn't have the money for Hugh to make this call. And look at this, Erwin's flopped the top full house, and he's going to slow play it. You know, I kind of talked about him yesterday. The turn's a 3. He slow plays it again. And the river's a 9. And this one might not make any sense for Hugh. It's a $75 bet, and Irwin makes a quick call. And Thames Full is going to take it down. You know, I always talked about Irwin. He plays a little bit like Mike, but almost like Mike from like last year. He slow plays his big hands. He makes some real questionable calls. He's real aggressive, but he doesn't really piece together some of the things that Mike has pieced together over the last 6 months to make him such a dangerous player.
Is Irwin a regular on this show?
Yeah, Irwin plays on the show sometimes. We've seen him 2 nights in a row. Really adds a lot of action
Yeah, I experienced that.
to the game. Anybody might want to email in some questions that they might want to ask Liz Liu. We can do so tonight. I'm not going to really have time tomorrow. Maybe about some of the heads-up limit matches she's had. Any other questions that you might want to ask her. Hey, email us in live@thebike.com. You can also follow live threads starting on the internet by going to 2plus2.com spelled out. Click on forums. Televised poker. Official Live at the Bike thread for July 11th. Got a straddle here. Straddle here by Avi in seat 3. 10 to go. 5-way action. It's a $50 pot. He checks it out of the straddle spot. Well, looks like Tony's hit top pair here. Now, Eric's open-ended with a backdoor club draw. And Eric's going to lead out with the semi bluff. I don't mind the play at all. I got to tell you, I don't even think Tony was in the hand. So we don't have to deal with top pair there. Eric's going to take it down there with the semi bluff. You know, a tight player like Eric leads out on a board like that, and I've got 8-10. Do I really even get involved? I mean, I saw you easily lay down top pair. You know, it's not a limit game, right?
Exactly.
Got to be playing your players. Kenny Williams. Oh, that's an old school. You and Denny.
Yeah, we're
used to do
familiar.
the show a little bit.
Yeah.
Way back when.
Raise 20.
Got a straddle here by Irwin. And seat 5 is going to make a min raise. He's got a short stack. He makes it 20 to go with Jack 3 of diamonds out of seat 5.
What is the purpose of that?
And again, you look at seat 9. He's called the raise with 10-7 of hearts, but again,
Irwin's got ace-5 of hearts and
Irwin's going to push.
re-raises here.
Yeah, he's going to re-raise. Avi called with a weak ace. Irwin says there's enough dead money out in here. And seat 5 is just gambling it up here. He's going to move all in with Jack 3.
Guess that's why he didn't buy any more chips.
For 90.
And you can see that one of the 3s is dead for Herb. Irwin's probably about a 65% favorite here. Wow, look at this. Herb's got diamonds here. He's got a diamond draw and he makes it. Herb's going to double through there. Jack 3 of diamonds takes it down. Just a pure gamble there by Herb. Okay, and you can email us for video blog hands and for blog in the subject. I'll be doing a video blog here with David on Thursday.
What's the video blog?
The video blog is something you can click on the left-hand side of your screen at liveatthebike.com. And, Dave and I walk through certain situations, some hands, some people that email us in with their hands. We go through like kind of a detailed analysis of the hands. Very interesting stuff. Head over to the left-hand side of the screen.
Raise.
Got a raise here by Matt. He's going to make it 60 to go.
Ace Jack.
60 is the bet.
Yeah, big
And
raise
it's
here.
the best hand. Wow.
And that's probably going to get it done. Well, Herb is going to call. Again, Herb does not have enough money to make this call out of position. One of the mistakes you will commonly see in this game, people making calls to raises where they just don't have enough money.
Now it's over.
Well,
I
Matt's
could
got
use a 9.
ace-jack here. The flop is jack 10-4. So Matt's hit top pair. There we go. He was not in the hand. Herb's got a gut shot to the 9 here. And he's not going to get involved.
You've got no chips.
Yeah.
You incorrectly call a huge raise, and you hip flop to at least something, a draw, and you don't push.
Well, you think you should have pushed on that?
Well, why is he playing
I don't
it?
think Matt's going anywhere.
Well, Matt's not going anywhere,
Yeah.
but his logic just doesn't seem to be consistent.
Button moves over here to seat 3.
Avi in seat 3 on the button's got pocket 9.
He does indeed. Eric is going to bring this one for an open raise. He looks like he's got ace jack here. Looks like an ace of spades, jack of hearts. And look at this, Avi's coming back over the top with 9s. He's going to make it 140, and that's probably going to get it done here. I can't imagine that Eric's going to call with ace jack out of position. It's really a garbage hand in a cash game. I mean, you don't really even want to be calling raises, much less re-raises to this hand.
Again? You just give me that tell, I'll fold.
And I do not think he's going to get involved.
If I told you I have aces, you're gonna fold? That's pretty good. Don't you think I would fold? I said if I told you I have aces, you're gonna fold. I said, no, I call if you have aces. Put it above this. Something that's above more. What is it? It's what?
Well, ace jack still contemplating the call here against pocket 9s. He's not in terrible
yeah,
shape.
I don't understand. Well, I don't understand why Eric is even taking this long. He's too solid of a player to get involved here.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
He can't know that he's in a coin flip situation. I mean,
Coin flip situation. I mean, coin flip situation if you see all 5 cards, but I mean, he does have
Right.
ace jack there. I'm really surprised that
yeah, I would.
he took so long. I mean, again, if you hit your jack, you don't know if you're good. If you hit your ace, you don't even know if you're good. You know? Navi makes the re-raise there.
It goes back a little bit.
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions.
That's what I meant at first.
Pictures.
I'm having a little bit of difficulty with the internet right now, but that should be up soon enough, so you can wait on some of your responses. Keep writing in. Button moves over here to seat number 4. Couple of limpers here. Avi's going to limp in.
6 player.
Six-way action here, limped around. Queen 10-4 on the flop. Now, Tony's open-ended here with King Jack. And he's going to come out and bet. I like the bet. It's a rainbow board. Wow, seat 9 who limped in early position with Queen Deuce. He's going to make the call. So Hugh has got the best hand. And Eric is going to overcall here. He's got, I think it looks like Queen 6 of hearts. It looks like we need to see his cards there.
Right, I think it's a Queen 5 of hearts.
Queen 5 of hearts. So he's actually got the best hand. The turn is a 3. Now Jerome is not in the hand. Let's see if Tony continues with the semi-bluff, and he does. I mean, how much heat can Hugh take here, squashed in between? How can Eric call here? I mean, this guy's fired out twice. Is Eric really going to get involved here with Queen 5? And he lays it down. You don't blame him. I mean, those up and down suited cards.
It's not, yeah, you're not really looking to flop.
You know, your
Queen
top
with Queen
pair, right?
5, right?
Yeah. And the button heads over here to seat 5. Jerome's going to be in the small blind. Tony is in the big blind. So Alan's going to be under the gun here. Again, we're playing 5-5, no limit hold'em. $300 min, $500 max. At any time, you can bring your stack back up to $500. I'm Bart Hansen. I'm here with Jennifer Bankston. Old school Live with the Bike commentator from way back when, February, March of 2005.
Way back when, yeah.
And look at this now. This is the first hand we've seen Jerome play. He's going to raise it up out of the small blind with ace-5 of clubs. And Hugh makes a quick call here with 7-4 of hearts. So we're heads up. It's about a $70 pot. Now, Jack 10-9. Both players are badly missed here. And it's going to go check, check.
He's going to fire first.
Turns a deuce to third diamond. Jerome checks again, and Hugh checks again. Is Hugh just going to kind of let Jerome win with ace high? And the river's a 9. It's a fourth diamond. And ace-5 is going to win it there, Jennifer. Oh, obviously, you talk about whoever's going to bet that hand first is going to win it.
Exactly.
It's a little bit
The
difficult.
board just kept getting worse and worse for either of them to take a stab at it.
You know, it seems like there's a lot of, people playing loose here. I don't know if I'd be raising with ace-5 of clubs out of position in the blind because you get called by a hand like 7-4, and again, you just don't know where you're at if you hit your ace. The only thing you're really comfortable with is if you hit trip 5s.
Right.
I would imagine there's going to be a lot of players playing weak aces here. Get a limp in here by Eric with ace-10 pocket kings over here for Jerome. Now that is a raising hand. And look at Avi. He's going to bring it in for a raise here with ace-jack offsuit. He's going to make it 35. Let's see what Jerome is going to do here from the button. Got two limpers there in front. He's probably going to re-raise it here. And there it is. He's going to make it 100. I like the re-raise.
That's pocket 6 is going to do.
Again, I like really pushing on this table, kind of raising for value. And again, I wouldn't imagine that Avi is going to get involved with ace-jack offsuit here. Tony's going to fold pocket 6s. Hugh is out of there. Eric has got an awful ace-10. I'm sure he's going to fold. Avi is really John Slim here.
He lets it go.
Yep. Jerome is going to take it down there with pocket kings. Now, it sounds like Avi was talking about that he was calling to hit the jackpot on that hand with queens. So
That's another reason.
yeah, bad beat jackpot.
That's probably why Alan didn't bet as much, and that's the reason why Avi's calling. Alan pushes in, jackpot or not, on the turn. I don't think Avi calls. He had another 150 that he could have pushed.
Well, I don't mind the way Alan played that hand if you don't put the other guy in an ace, because why push in? You're not really scared of anything except
Yeah,
he
you
gets his
let
full
the guy.
house.
Yeah, let the guy draw the 2-outer, right? You're right.
But I mean, basically, if you actually want to do it by odds, you say, well, if I hit the jackpot, if I hit the big end and my share is about $6,000, should I call 125 and I have about 1 out of about 43 unseen cards? Am I getting 43 to 1 on 125? I guess you are. It's really close when you think about it. Jerome's going to raise it up here again. He's got ace-queen. And he's going to take it down. We're not going to see a flop. Button moves over here to Allen, seat number 8. Big blind here from Matt in seat number 1.
Oh, Matt's got 9, 10
9,
suited.
10 clubs, yeah. Now, Eric has got an ace-4 clubs. He limps in under the gun, so clubs come, Matt could get in trouble here. We're going to see
Jack 10
four-way
suited.
action here. $20 pot. 8-7-3 with a couple of spades. Now, seat number 9 in the small blind. He's got a small flush draw. And Matt is going to come out and bet here. He's got an open-ended straight draw. Jerome calls the gut shot of the 9 with 2 spades out there, and Hugh also calls with a spade. Well, the turn is an ace. Nobody really has a pair yet. Look at this. Jack 10 is way out in front here. It's probably going to get checked around. Let's see if Jerome can represent the nut flush draw here. And he's going to bet. I like the bet here in position. Now, you wonder if Hugh is going to continue to call here. I don't think he'd get involved with kind of a smallish flush draw. I learned that today, Jennifer. But he's going to make the call, and you wonder if Jerome is going to think he needs to bet the river. And I assume Matt is easily going to fold here, this open-ended straight draw with 2 spades out there. And if this goes miss, what's going to happen on the river? Well, the river is a spade, and Hugh checks it. He made it and he checked it. It paired the board. And is Jerome going to be forced to make a bluff at it? But
No.
Jerome checks right behind him.
He doesn't take the bait.
Either he is calling to hit the flush, and then he's not even comfortable when the board pairs. He's got a smallish flush draw, and then he doesn't even bet the river.
Right. He must have. I mean, in order for you to check there, you've got to put the guy on a big enough hand that he's going to bet even when the spade hits. What are you putting him on an 8?
You mean to make like a check raise on the river?
Right. I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of
it
sense.
doesn't make sense for him to check it if he's scared of a higher flush. He's got to be looking for the check raise.
And especially if Jerome just has an ace and he bets the turn there, he's probably going to check behind with the 8 pairing and the
Right,
third
thinking
spade.
it's because he's thinking it's good, and if I get called or raised, I'm beat. So there's no reason for even somebody with an ace to bet there.
Well, if he's got a weak ace, yeah, he's probably just going to maybe check it down in a free showdown. So that's why you would bet that river and hopefully get a call by an ace, because
Right.
an ace is not going to bet there.
He's
a
not
weak
going
ace.
to bet. It's more likely he's going to call. Matt's picked up pocket queens in the
Small blind. And it's a straddle pot, few limpers. And he's going to raise it up to 60 here.
and the straddler has pocket 8s.
Well, it looks like Avi is deep enough here to call Matt. He's also in position. Matt and Avi both pretty deep. And that's going to bring Irwin in here as well.
With a king 4 suited clubs.
Irwin, he loves to play any 2. So this pot is going to be about $180 here, going 3 ways. Matt, the pre-flop raiser with queens. And he's hit middle set here. Now, unfortunately for him, he's a pretty good player. He's probably going to bet out, but nobody has an ace here. No one's got a spade draw. Obviously, it would have been great if it was ace, queen, 8 here for him.
Yeah.
But from... And look at this.
wow.
Irwin is just going to push in
Matt-
with absolutely nothing.
Absolute gift. Matt can't wait to get his money in
And
the
Matt
pot.
makes the call, and this pot is close to $900. Irwin's going to need some sort of running cards here to win.
So,
And that's
oh,
That's
That
it.
should've
It's over. Look at that. The 8 came on the turn. The river here is a 7. Again, I wonder if it was ace, queen, 8, how much money would Avi have lost most of his stacks in Matt? You know, set over set over set is so hard, but Matt is such a solid player. You know, he bets on the flop and you raise him, and he either comes back over the top or he check raises you on the turn. Do you think he's doing that with ace queen?
no.
I would have just loved to have seen how that hand would have played
Yeah, that
out.
would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Irwin was just hoping that Matt had jacks. And he was
Something like
gonna-
that, jacks
right,
or
and he could
kings.
get him away from
But
it.
I got to tell you, Matt, from watching Irwin play last night, I think Matt might call him kings.
yeah,
You never know, you know. Button moves over here to seat 1. Interesting announcement there. Eric Jr. in seat number 2. Eric's son made the Santa Clara Valley All-Stars. The name of the team is Chicago. Well, Eric used to play professional ball. He said he made, I think, like a, was it a 22-man squad? He was playing in the AAA. Never got to play in the majors, but definitely played some pro ball.
Oh.
Nice to see his
Well,
son.
congratulations to Eric Jr.
Got a raise here by Tony. 6-4 clubs. Eric is going to call here with king 10 offsuit.
Jerome's got pocket 9.
And Jerome is going to call.
Calls.
4-way action here. It's a $100 pot. Tony brought this one in for a raise. So here we go to the flop. Well, ace, queen, 10 here. Now, Eric is flop bottom pair. You wonder if Tony fires hard. I don't think anybody can call here. Wow, and Eric is going to come and lead out here with king 10. I got to tell you, it's not a great flop for king 10. I don't necessarily know if I'm even in there for the raise with king 10 offsuit out of position. But he bets, and he's going to take it down.
With a raise and 3 people calling
Yeah,
a raise.
it's a really
like
tough hand to play, obviously.
to
Easily
suspect
dominated
that nobody
hand.
has an ace is
Yeah.
kind of strange.
Turn would have been in the jack of diamonds, and Eric would have made a straight there. Button moves over here to Eric. Seat number 2. As you can tell, Eric plays a little bit looser in these smaller games. He plays the 500 a lot now, and he's moved up to the 1,000 recently, which is the 10-20 game here at the bike.
A lot of good baseball out of there. Todd Seal came out of there.
Limped around here. Eric's son actually made the Santa Clarita Valley All-Stars.
Oh,
Named
okay.
Chicago. Four-way
Very
action
cool.
here, limped around.
Junior mint me.
Jack 10-3 here. It's a rainbow board. Now Tony's got a queen jack. He's got the best hand here, and he's going to throw 15 out here. Again, it was limped around. Abhi does not get involved with eights. Jerome's got sevens here, and he wisely folds. Now, Jerome was telling me before the show that he's mainly a limit player. He actually plays, I have a buddy of mine from Boston that kind of runs a home game, and that's how he kind of knows about Live at the Bike. He plays in that kind of a home game, local game. And he's out here on vacation, kind of chilling before the NFL training camp season starts, which is coming up, right, towards the end of July.
Oh boy. I love football.
Do you?
Yes.
Sounds like it.
I do. I rooted for the Steelers the whole way.
Are you from Pittsburgh?
No, I'm from LA, but
Yeah, I guess LA
but
hasn't
Ben
had a team in like
Roethlisberger is
15 years.
amazingly hot, so I figured go with that guy.
Wow, pocket aces here for Irwin, and
And
no one's really going to give him a lot of
Except
respect.
for Ace King suited.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Herb might push all into Irwin's raise here, and Herb might get stacked here again. And Matt's going to open raise here with ace 10 of diamonds. All the aces are dead. See what Irwin's going to do. He is going to re-raise. I have a feeling Herb might move all in here.
Re-raise. Make out 100 total.
100 total, and there it is, Jennifer. I just kind of knew it from what
Yeah.
was out there. An easy fold for Tony and Matt, and Irwin has Herb right where he wants him.
Matt's thinking.
I can't imagine Matt's going to call here with ace 10 of diamonds. Got a re-raise by Irwin and then a push by Herb. But again, you know, yeah, Matt's not going to get involved here.
He doesn't care.
And obviously, Irwin, it's an easy call with pocket aces.
Just say call.
165 total.
And he makes the call, and Herb's going to need to catch a flush, some sort of Broadway straight, or a couple of kings here. He is way behind. All the aces are dead. So this is about, again, big pots here. It's about a $450 pot.
You're gonna win, I guarantee it.
Here we go to the flop. 7-5-7. So Herb needs running kings or running spades. Way behind. Turns the jack,
Over.
and that's going to do it. And Herb is going to go bust.
9.5.
And it looks like he's going back into his pocket to rebuy.
Yeah, he hadn't had to rebuy yet.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
So is there 10? One more time.
He was able to work that $65 stack for a little while.
Well, you know, it's funny. We always talk about playing short stack in this game because we see some people do it often, but we don't really ever see them do it correctly. And I know a lot of people out there, in the online land, like to play in some online cash games as a short stack. And it's always an interesting, position to be in if you're the short stack and you've got a raise and a re-raise and you've got ace-king suited. I mean, does it depend on your position in the player? Do you push there as the short stack? Do you just fold? I don't think you can call. If you play a call, do you play kind of like a stop and go as a check raise all in or a check call all in if you hit the flop? And if you miss the flop, do you push?
I know I'm trying to get it.
It's an interesting little scenario.
I wanted to get it before the series, but that's not a
Again, you can email us at liveatthebike.com. Looks like I got my email back here, Jennifer.
Yay.
The next day you're good to go. No, I said I want to get it before the series. Oh, I see what you're saying. Financial.
And we have an interesting email by Steve that I will get to in a second
Not getting any
to open out the show.
anybody in September.
Pocket Nines is up against a lot of
Now Tony
pain.
has brought this one in for a raise with ace queen to 20, and he gets 4 callers, so it's a $100 pot here. 8-7-5. Now Jerome, he's got the overpair. He's got a gut shot to the 6. I might actually like to see Jerome lead right out here, and he does.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind the bet. If you get raised, you can evaluate. I think if you get raised by the next guy, it's probably a fold, but he's not going to. I mean, look at that connected board. He's not going to give free cards. It's a nice play there by Jerome. From what I've seen so far, I like his game. He said he mainly plays limit, but I haven't seen him make really any mistakes so far here in the first half an hour of the show.
Thank you.
Turn was a 6. He would have made a straight, and then a 4 on the river. A straight would have played, but he would have had the 9s. Now, an email here from Steve. Mars Alowski. He says, I want to subscribe to the archives part, but I don't want to use a credit card. are you guys going to get NetTeller or any other methods of paying for the show? And I actually was discussing that with my producer right before the show started, and that will be coming hopefully soon in the near future. One of the first things that will actually come before NetTeller is the ability to pay via checking account. I can't exactly give you a timetable yet, but we are aware of the fact that a lot of people don't want to pay by credit card. They want to, you know, maybe use their NetTeller account to do so, and that is definitely coming in the near future. Couple of limpers here, and Avi's going to raise it up.
Wonder if Matt calls here with the ace-10 diamonds. Matt, let's go.
Yeah, he's going to take it down there. Thank you, Mo, for the email, Mo Lavi. Got an email here from Eric Ogawa, who's Crackhead, who frequents the 2+2 boards and always buys me beers. Thank you very much, Eric. Email here from Winger Aris. He says, Jen, can you explain your fold with Chip Jacks the other day? I assume he's talking about that hand with the 3 hearts out there. Maybe you can go over that a little bit after this hand.
Maybe so.
So we'll get to that in a second, because you know, you had a lot of big hands and some interesting decisions.
Oh,
Jennifer.
there was I could not believe the stuff that was going on last night. Every other orbit, I think I picked up jacks or some ace-king.
And Avi is going to raise here again. He's got pocket 6s. And it looks like he is going to take it down there. So work us through your minds, you know, what you were thinking when Erwin pushed on a board of, I believe it was an ace jack 10.
It was king 10 jack, 3 hearts.
King jack 10, 3 hearts. He overbets the flop. The pot was about 100. I think he moved in for 250.
275.
Now,
right.
The other girl in seat 4 pretty much almost had you covered, check from up front. He bet. Now, I know what was going through your mind was you were probably a little bit scared of her, but I don't understand how you can give her credit for anything just because she checked. I mean, she could have had 2 black sixes there, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Basically, I was thinking that he had the flush. I thought he had the flush, and I didn't think that it was. I didn't calculate the odds correctly to make the call. If I thought he had a flush, which is what I put him on, then I know that I have to fill up, and I didn't think I was getting correct odds.
So you actually put him on a flush. You didn't think he could do it with a high pair with a high heart?
I thought he had the flush.
Really? I mean, the way that
I sat there
from
and
what
I
we saw
decided,
from
nah.
last night, you know, even if he has the flush, Jennifer, I mean, the way that I would look at the hand, like I said, you know, I know I have to deal with a big stack up in front of me, but I'm not
Right.
I'm gonna at least call there. I mean, that's just what I was thinking. What I was saying is that, you know, even if he has the flush there, he only needs to not have the flush. Probably, I want to say, and somebody can help me out there if they do the math, probably 40 or 50% of the time for you to make that call. Because obviously, if he has the flush, you know, he's only about a 70-30 favorite over you. But any other hand, like a pair and a high heart, you know, you have him pretty good. So,
Right.
so you know, you almost have to
flush,
be.
I'm getting 3-1 on my money, right?
But I mean, you almost have to be certain that he has the flush there to fold that hand like at least 80-85% of the time. I don't think I'm going to give Erwin credit for that from what I've seen. I mean, that was what was going through my head.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I really believe he got the flush. I was trying to put him on something else he would do that with.
Yeah.
I just went with it, and maybe it would have been easier if she wasn't behind me, but to be honest with you, I didn't give too much thought to what she was going to do.
So you're saying that you would have folded it anyways, even heads up? I mean,
I'm not sure. Maybe I would have taken a little bit more time, but I was pretty sure he had the flush.
yeah, Jerome is going to open raise here to 35. He's got a pocket 9s, and look at the button here. Tony's got kings. And he's going to smooth call, and I don't mind that play with those guys in the blinds. Allen, now seat 9 played it pretty loose. But again, Tony, I mean, this is a way to disguise your hand. We don't see a lot of players do this, and if Jerome hits a ragged flop, you wonder how much he's going to lose. Well, that's probably a pretty easy flop for somebody to get away from. You wonder if Jerome bets here. Is Tony even going to get involved? I mean, does he call one time? You can't beat an ace. You can't beat pocket jacks. Obviously, you can beat queens, 10s, 9s here. He's going to bet 75, and I really wouldn't even mind the laydown here if you're Tony, if you don't even get involved. Because if you call here, aren't you committing a lot of chips here?
Yeah, it's what are you looking for? Are you looking for the guy to check on the turn? And
well, it looks like he's going to call.
if you believe you have the best hand, if you don't think he has an ace, then push.
Well, and I assume Jerome is going to shut down here if he doesn't catch a 9 on the turn. Turns a 5.
I mean, I know there is. Don't answer the question.
And you can
Can
look
he
at his
fire
face
this
there. He
again?
doesn't seem too happy. I can tell you, if he fires again, I think Tony's going to lay it down. But obviously, Jerome does not know that Tony has pocket kings here. I mean, the pot is about $230. Tony's got about, I want to say maybe 250 left. If he fires over 100 here, I don't know if Tony's going to make this call. Now, he's taking a long time with it here.
He wasn't that slam like he did. Yeah, but I want to play it half your hands.
It's almost like he wants to make the bet, but he's taking so much time that he's really giving away that.
Well, some people do that, kind of as a way to give the reverse tell as well.
Excuse me?
He's going to bet 150 here. Now, it's interesting. Did Tony pick something up for him? Does he think that Jerome is weak? Jerome has fired twice with an ace out there. And again, if Tony, if you're playing online here and you didn't have a tell from the guy, I think it's an easy laydown with kings. Now, the question is, what did Tony pick up there from Jerome's mannerisms there on the turn?
Yeah, just smack him for me, will you? Smack him. Just serve and smack.
I mean, this is sometimes the problem that you can get into if you just smooth call with kings. I might have just released on the flop.
Right. If you didn't get yourself committed enough
Yeah.
to the pot.
See, now you made me forget what
Good.
And again, Tony is thinking this one through. And I can't say it's a bad play here not to push, because Tony might have picked something up. He might think Jerome is weak. But if he doesn't think Jerome is weak, I don't understand how you can commit so much money here with kings. But if he thinks Jerome is weak, if he has some sort of tell on him, then fine, it's the best hand.
Right. I just can't imagine.
Well, he's going to push it all
He
in.
does it.
And again, I just wonder if he was going to do that anyways.
It's about 75 more.
Even if Jerome had an ace here, was he going to do that anyways because he just loved kings so much? Again, you might give credit to Tony that he picked some sort of tell up from Jerome. It's 75 more here.
So he's got to think he has the best hand. He's not trying to move him off of an ace.
Yeah, I
He
got
thinks
to
he's got
tell
it.
you, I think if you're Jerome here, it's a laydown. I think it's a laydown. I mean, we never see somebody as advanced to sit in this game and maybe call the flop with queen 10 of diamonds and now pushes a big semi-bluff on the turn, knowing that there's no fold equity to get an ace out of there. I don't buy it. I think if you're Jerome, this is one of these cases where you're getting about 10 to 1 or maybe 8 or 9 to 1 here, but it's an easy laydown because you're drawing the two outs.
You're
he
basically
lays it down.
bluffing and you got caught. So
Yeah.
give it up.
And that is and the river would have been a 4. That is a nice laydown there again by Jerome.
Good read by Tony.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell he picked up on did the trick.
Got an email here from Bobby Barfield saying, "You've said that a particular player is out of position in the betting. As a novice player, could you briefly explain this and suggest a book or two that would help me understand the game better?" Well, I mean, the ultimate book that I always try to suggest people that are starting off with poker is Skolansky's Theory of Poker. It's kind of a general book. Doesn't specifically give you, it gives you an overview about poker. It teaches you position, pot odds, semi-bluffs, such stuff like that. I mean, that would actually be my first book that, I might recommend to a beginning player. Obviously, in Hold'em here, the closer you are to the button, the better position that you are in. That's what we talk about. So when you're out of position, you are actually first to act. Now, Eric is going to pop it up here with ace-jack of diamonds. He's not going to get any callers, and he takes it down. Button moves over here to seat 9. You're going to see a small blind on the button here and 2 big blinds. Something that you do not see in Vegas, as I pointed out last night. Different cash game rules in different spots. You ever played in the East Coast?
I've never been to the East
Oh,
Coast.
you've never been to the East Coast? I mean, I know you play a lot in Vegas. Because I know in Vegas that they will deal the button can be in a position where there is no one sitting there, right?
In
Vegas, yeah. Or at least when I played at Caesars. Or someone can have the button twice in a row if it freezes. I think maybe that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah. Got a live straddle here by Irwin. Matt posted.
Ray, make it 40 total.
Actually, Matt was small blind on the button. He completed. And now Eric is going to raise it up here with some dead money. He's going to raise it up with pocket fives. I don't think Matt's going to get involved here with 9-4 diamonds. Irwin makes the call with 8-10 offsuit.
The diamond exposed.
And here we go to the flop. Eric, the pre-flop raiser here with fives. It's about an $80 pot here. King 9-8. Well, Irwin's outflopped Eric. It's a horrible flop for Eric. He's staring at 3 overcards. But he's going to follow through with the continuation bet. And I don't think that Irwin can really continue on here, can he?
Betting 70.
Eric's going to bet
I've
70.
got king 8-10 there. I don't.
But
really
Irwin's
like
going to
my
make the
hand.
quick call.
Now, what is pocket fives going to do?
I think it's probably, it might go check on the turn here. I know these guys pretty well. Over a $200 pot. Here we go to the turn. Well, the turn's a king.
You know, if Irwin had a king, he would have raised. So maybe this is a good opportunity for
Eric
Eric
to
to show some
betting.
strength.
Again, Eric watches the show a lot as well, and he's familiar with Irwin. He's going to bet again. Looks like maybe 125 there.
Betting 130.
130. Again, Irwin only has bottom pair here.
Irwin calls.
And he's going to make the call. This is unbelievable. And this pot is $500. Eric needs a 5 or 5 only, or bet Irwin out of the pot at the end. And the river's a 4. It's a third spade. And I don't know if you can continue to fire. If you're Eric, I mean, do you put the guy on a flush draw? I think you would know that Irwin would probably have already moved all in if he's got a king. And let's see what Eric is going to do here.
He's got $100 left. It's your final attempt to
But
lift
it's a
this pot.
$500 pot, Jennifer.
Oh, he checked.
Eric checks, and Irwin moves all in there. And again, you know, I don't even know if there's a whole lot of value in that, because if Eric has any part of that, if he has a king,
Right.
even if he's got pocket jacks, pocket tens, the pot would be $675, $100 to call.
Right. There's
If you think your hand is the best there,
Then
because
there's
Eric
no
was
reason to
bluffing,
bet.
is there any reason to bet there?
You
Because
get-
are you ever going to get called by a hand that you don't beat?
no.
I don't know if Irwin was paying attention to the pot size there.
It's something like that. It's not enough.
And then again, Eric can't really bluff at it because it's only $100. And if Irwin already thought his hand was good all the way, he's got so much invested, he's not going to fold either. I think he fired at that pot one too many times. Eric's going to raise it up here.
He's
With,
got pocket aces here on the button.
45 total. Is there
Make it
bubble?
45 to go.
Oh, geez.
Irwin is in the big blind. He loves to defend. We can't see exactly what he has yet. But it seems like any 2 is good for him. And it looks like he's going to call. We haven't seen what he has. Whoa, wait a minute. It looks like he's going to re-raise. So what does he have?
he's got
King, queen, offsuit, and Eric is going to push in. He doesn't have that much left. I'm not exactly sure why Eric didn't rebuy to 500. Obviously, you know, he's got the money. And Eric is a huge favorite
I'm sure he
here.
was not expecting to get aces the very next hand, or he would have rebought.
Well, there's a king. Irwin needs a king or a queen here. Pot is about $400. Turns a 9. Irwin still needs a king or a queen. Here we go to the river. The river's a 7, and Eric's going to win it there with the overpair.
King with a queen. Oh, yeah, man.
Kind of a little gift there by Eric. But again, you know, you wonder if Eric had brought his stack from 150 up to 500, does he make 500 on that hand? I think the answer is yes.
I think the answer is yes, too.
I don't think Irwin goes anywhere with top pair there. So, you know, that's why sometimes these are the types of things you got to be thinking about when you're on this table. I would always want to play at the maximum level at this game.
I agree. Yesterday, my stack was down to about 250, and at that point, I even considered, I need to rebuy chips. Luckily, I was able to pick up the very next hand. I didn't have to, but you don't want to be short stacks in these games.
Unless, of course, you know, you play that short stack theory correctly. Again, I point out, I haven't really seen anybody do it on the show. You know, buy in for like the minimum, buy in for 300, play that short stack theory correctly.
You want to read that email?
We have an email here from Brandon Glass.
Raise, make it 30.
And Eric is going to raise it up here again. He's got ace-queen offsuit. He's going to make it 30 to go.
How many more calls?
And he's going to take it down. Jennifer, it's nice to have you back on the show. If you only root for the Steelers because you're attracted to Ben Roethlisberger, I seriously doubt you'll be cheering for them this year after his motorcycle accident destroyed his face. Good luck at the tables, and I hope to see you again on the show in the future. That's a good
That's
point.
funny. But I actually love football. I follow the entire team. I actually understand all the rules. He's a bonus. Thank you for writing.
What do you think about the bus retiring?
I think that's awesome.
Think it's awesome that he's
I
retiring?
think that's awesome. He got to win his championship in
Yeah.
his hometown. He's finished.
I heard he already got offered a TV job, right? With
Is that true?
I think it was with CBS. Interesting that Monday Night Football now taking a backseat to Sunday Night Football. John Madden and Al Michaels moving over to NBC for Sunday Night Football. And Monday Night Football is going to be kind of like what Sunday Night Football has been like the last 20,
Monday Night
25
Football's
years.
on ESPN now, right? ABC
Right, but
gave
it's
it up?
not really the good game like as remember what
Oh,
Monday Night
yeah,
Football
that's
used to
the
be.
thing.
And I'll tell you what in a
Oh,
second.
look at this.
Hugh has flopped a full house here. Now we got an overpair here for Allen in seat 8. Wow, look at this. Seat number 7, Tony, he's going to bet with king 3. Allen raises with the overpair.
Just smooth
And
call.
just a smooth call here by Hugh, and alarms have to be running off in Allen's head. You know, for Allen, I think it's an easy check here unless you fill up. I almost automatically put this guy in a deuce the way this has come out. Well, it's a turns of 7. I think if you're Allen, you hope the guy flopped the monster like deuce 3 or pocket 3, so you check, hoping that he checks behind you and you get a free card.
Yeah,
And that's
and he did.
exactly what's happened. Check, check.
Now, why would he check behind him?
And the river is a king.
If he catches his card, you're beat. Your full house is not that strong.
Wow. And now Allen is going to bet. And Hugh moves all in.
And
Hugh moves
That-
all in, and I think it's an easy lay down here for
do
Allen.
you think Hugh checked the turn because he wants Allen to bluff on the river?
Well, apparently that's what happened, and they got it to work. I mean, Allen's not the type of guy I'm going to induce a bluff from.
That's what I'm saying. It's
I
just
mean-
as likely that he's just going to check it through. He knows that the guy's not going to fold a king. There's no reason for Allen to bet there unless he seriously thinks his 6s are good.
I
But then
think-
what's the guy going to call you with?
I got to tell you, Jennifer, I think Allen put way too much money out here on the river. If you want to put a little blockish stop bet out here and fold to a raise, fine. But Allen put a big bet out there. How much did he bet on the river?
It looked about 75.
Was it 75? He bet. You know, he bet almost a pot-sized bet. You know, I think you get the same information if you bet 35. You get called by a 3 if you bet 35. Now this guy is raised. I mean, you can even almost check call the river because if the guy doesn't have a deuce here on the river, he's scared of the king.
Right.
When
There's,
you check the river here and he bets or you throw a blocking bet out and he raises, it's a guarantee that he has a deuce at this level. There's no doubt about it.
the
I
only
can't
thing
imagine.
that Allen could have been trying to do was if the guy's got a 7, I'm trying to get him to fold a 7. But now,
Yeah, but what did he call the flop raise with?
Yeah.
Remember, he called the raise on the flop. I can't imagine any hand that Allen can manufacture that this guy can't have him beat here. I mean, the pot is going to be about $450, $150 to call, but it's really not a question of pot odds. I think Allen misplayed this river. I think you get the same information if you check or if you put a little blocking bet out. And I'm actually more of a proponent of putting a little blocking bet out because I don't want it to go check, check, and for him to check down a 3 where I might have gotten a little value bet call
right.
if he
that's a good
calls
point.
with a 3 on the river.
But 75 was just way too much.
Yeah, I think so.
I just think what happened was Allen. Maybe what he was doing was he was trying to value bet his hand against a 3, but now that you got caught, what
Wow,
can you call?
Allen is going to call. I don't know what he thought that guy had. I mean, I don't often see Allen make those types of mistakes, but I'm a little dumbfounded as to how that hand went down. And I got to tell you again, even in a deeper game, that pot was limped around about 6 ways. You're committing a decent amount of chips there when you get a bet from up front. You raise with 6s. You got 5 people behind you.
Right.
Somebody could easily have a deuce. They could have a higher, pocket pair.
The only thing I can think that
I mean, you
Allen's
might
thinking,
drive out a higher pocket pair like 7s or 8s, but I mean, sometimes you might just even fold that hand from up front. You're in the worst position.
maybe Allen's thinking that the guy had 4 or 5 on the flop. He called with a draw on the flop.
Do we
But
ever
there's
see?
no-
do we ever see like a bluff raise like that at this
But there's
level?
no reason. That's the thing is that there's no reason for Allen to bet that if he thinks he has the best hand. What's the guy going to call you with?
I mean, I can count maybe the times on my hand in a year and a half I've ever seen somebody make a bluff raise
Really?
on a missed 4-5 in this game.
Oh, in
300
this
to 500.
game. Maybe in the bigger game that we
Yeah,
can
maybe in the bigger game.
give him some credit for something like that.
But this game is usually pretty straightforward. You know, sometimes David and I talk about how when a player is so predictable and you know that they have a deuce there, or you know they have the big hand, like say they've got threes, and you're playing really deep, you might even take one off with an overpair because you know if you hit your 2 outer, you're going to get the guy's whole stack. And if he's got enough money in front of you, you're going to make a killing. It's limped around here. King 9-10 with a couple of spades. Herb did not raise it up on the button with ace-king. He's going to make the continuation bet here. $30 bet.
You can order it. Yeah.
Looks like he's going to take it down. Again, you can email us in the subject line, hand for blog, for the video blog. Anybody want to email questions that they specifically want me to ask Liz Lou tomorrow, you can do that. Also, liveatthebike.com. And what I'm really looking for is I'm not, all that familiar with some of her heads-up matches that she's challenged some people to from online. I know she's played at least one of those big-time heads-up matches. I think it was for either $300,000 or $500,000 freeze-out against that guy. I think it was Eric 123.
Basically, what Bart's saying is, do his research for him and give him some shit to talk about tomorrow.
No, I'm not quite saying that, but I will bow down to people that might be a little bit more familiar with those online heads-up high-limit feuds.
Is that what she does?
Well, she's a big-time high-limit Hold'em player.
Online?
No, not really online per se. I mean, I know she plays online. Look at the seat 4 here. Irwin's flopped the nuts. Tony's going to come out and bet here. He's got King 9. He's got top pair. Eric calls and Irwin calls. Irwin just going to call. And again, with Irwin's
just calling.
Well, I mean, with Irwin's reputation here, I think you put a raise in there so that another heart doesn't come out and kill your action. He just calls, and now Eric's going to come out and bet here. Can't quite see what he has. Oh, now it's up. He's got 9-10. He bets, and the river here is an ace. Irwin just calls again. And now Eric checks. I mean, this hand to me screams of nut flush here.
Yeah.
Do you really think that Irwin would have bet just an ace here on the river? I just don't buy it. We don't see those types of marginal value bets again in this game. He's going to bet 150 here. He's betting a nice kind of a pot size amount, maybe making it look like a bluff. But Eric can't beat the ace of hearts here either. He only has one pair, then ace beats him.
I don't know how much more money he could have gotten out of Eric to begin with, but if Eric had a slightly better hand, Irwin totally let his action die.
Well, I mean, the reason why if I'm Irwin I put a little mini raise there on the flop is because I don't think Tony is going to go anywhere with King 9. Because I don't think he would give me credit for having the nuts there if I raise the flop.
Right.
Yeah, we're not. And there's also the possibility of another heart coming and killing all your action. I mean, Irwin needs to use that kind of radical, crazy, loose, aggressive image. That's why Mike plays so well now, is because he will raise with a hand like that now. And he'll get paid off. Nobody gives him credit for it. But again, Irwin's almost playing it backwards.
I want to go play the same freaking guys, too. Used to be that way with Volvo. Talking about high level? Yeah, but you know what happened to Volvo. Eventually the same thing will happen in that game. Talking about the high level game?
Now we got a raise here. I believe it was by Herb there in seat 5. Ace 4 of diamonds. Tony's going to call, and Hugh calls with an ace jack of spades. Tony has outflopped everybody in seat 7 on the button. And he gets checked around. Tony does not bet out on the 10. Well, now he's got 2 pair. He's got bottom 2 pair. Hugh makes a pair of jacks. And I don't think Hugh's going to go anywhere. Tony's now going to bet 60. Well, let's see. No, Hugh's not even going to get involved. It's a good laydown not to get involved with that. Email here from Terrence Riley. Top of the evening, Bart. And you too, Miss Jennifer.
Hi.
She was A-okay. She has an okay game, but it could be a lot better if she got out of the box more. It's really easy to read you, and 90% of the hands are in. I do think you made a great laydown with jacks last night, but you limped too much with your big hands. Good luck in your next games.
Thank you for writing.
Again, though, I got to be honest with you. Even though I see the cards, and even though you were right, I still don't think it was the right laydown.
Well, it probably wasn't. Don't worry. I kicked myself for the next 5 hours.
I mean, not just because you filled up. I'm just saying I don't think it's the right laydown. I think Irwin has to have flop the flush there about 80% of the time for you to make that laydown. I don't give him credit
And
for
that,
it.
right. Can't give him credit for that.
Yeah, I think he does it with a pair and a high heart, easy. Or even with the naked ace of hearts. Limped around here, jack 8-8.
30.
And Eric is going to come out and bet here with pocket sixes. That's probably going to get it done. It does. Just like, you know, it kind of killed your action. The other hand, the interesting hand when I said you checked blind when you filled up with jacks.
Yeah. What was I
The
thinking?
funny thing about that, though, was Tyler, who was in seat 3. I think he made a mistake by not betting the turn. He actually lost the minimum by making a mistake by not betting the turn, because I think when you make that call, I don't put you on high cards with clubs. I think you have an overpair. And I think if you've got aces or kings with a club, I think you call the turn. Wouldn't you call the turn?
Yes, well, certainly.
So that's why I think he needs to bet there for value. And, you know, he just got lucky that a fourth club came out and killed the action.
Right.
Now, live straddle here by seat number 3. And I think seat number 5 raised dark. He min raised dark to 20. 4 people are in there, so it's an $80 pot. 8 deuce 6 here. I gotta tell you, if seat 5 raises dark and I'm on the button with king jack suited, I'm probably actually gonna re-raise there. Avi is flop bottom 2 pair. He's gonna come out and bet out here with 6-8. And Herb is called with bottom pair here. He's got a deuce. He needs a 10 or a deuce to improve. Wow, now he's picked up a spade draw. And I got to tell you, if Avi moves in here, I don't think Herb is going to lay it down. He's picked up a spade draw. He has a pair.
Yeah, and
see if
needs
Herb
a
is
7 for a
in the
straight.
mood. In the mood here to gamble. You're right. He's got the gut shot to the 7. Could hit a 10, a deuce, or a spade. The pot is about $450. It's $200 to call. And the funny thing here is, if you look at the percentages, it's actually the right call if you knew what Avi had. I mean, he's only about a 2-to-1 dog, and he's getting pretty much those odds here. I'm a little over that. Again, about a $600 pot, and the river here is a 9, and 9s and 8s are going to win it there. Avi got counterfeited there, but his pair of 8s are good.
Pair 8's good. Takes it down. And it looks like he is leaving the game.
That's going to do it there for Herb.
And I'm in here, so I can't play because I'm hanging out with Bart.
I know. It looked like I see what you're saying. I forgot that he had an underpair.
And getting word that Rick Nebbiolo is going to be coming into the game in seat 5.
He's late for something.
I think these guys are going to chop it up. And boy, Avi's having a hell of a day. Again, he was up about 2,000 in the 5-10 game. He's up almost close to 500 or 600 here. Approaching $3,000 for the day. Nice little win there. Guy from Staten Island. You've never been to the East Coast, huh?
Haven't been to the East
How
Coast.
far east have you been?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Interesting. I've never been to Tennessee.
You're not missing much.
No. I think our great director of the show grew up there.
Oh,
Isaac. Yeah. Grew up in Tennessee. But moved over here
yeah,
to seat
that's
2.
right. I say that out loud.
Do you watch the show?
Well, Irwin's got pocket sixes over here in seat 4.
Yeah, 7 weeks. You can't say that on the air. Go ahead.
And Irwin is going to raise it out of the big blind here after a couple of limpers.
55.
Going to make it 55 to go. Wow, and Avi is going to call him with a weak ace here. Does not give Irwin any credit. This is why I said Irwin should have raised with the nut flush on that flop. I mean, I don't think Avi calls any other player out of position with ace 8. Well, he hits middle pair. He outflops him. Avi checks. Let's see what Irwin's going to do here. It's a $110 pot.
75.
He's going to bet 75. Avi is way out in front here. What is he going to do? It looks like he's going to check raise. He is going to make a check raise here with second pair top kicker. And the funny thing here is, if Irwin comes back over the top, would Avi call with ace-8? I mean, this game has really been wild the last 2 nights. He's going to make it
People are
200
making
more.
some strange plays.
And Irwin is going to make the call. In this pot, again here. Wait a minute. He is going to come over the top.
Oh, Bart, I can't believe
He
you
is
called
going to come
it,
back
Bart.
over the top. And what is Avi going to do?
What does he do?
And this is what I was talking about. When he check raised with a mediocre hand, is he just not going to get involved?
That has nothing to do with what's going on.
I'm joking. That's what I was thinking, actually. It's good for the... Yeah.
So a check raise here by Avi, and Irwin comes back over the top for 300 more. This pot now is 900, 300 for Avi to call. And again, Avi watched the show last night, he told me.
She was just surprised.
And I got to tell you, Irwin would do this with the king. He would. He would do this with the king. We saw him do it before. I mean, he would go broke here with king 10. There just isn't a whole lot that
Just
Ivy
puts
can
him
beat.
on the standard middle pair check raise, I guess. He's thinking, I've got to convince this guy he's got a king, so he lays it down. And look at Avi is
And
pushing
Avi's
all
coming
that.
back over the top all in here.
And Irwin has basically committed his entire stack.
I mean, Irwin, the pot now, 1,200 plus, looks like Irwin's got another 200, so it's a $1,400 pot, 200 for Irwin to call. He's getting 7-1 here, 7-1, and he's about a 7-1 dog. And he's going to make the call.
yeah, well,
$1,600 pot. Irwin needs a 6 to make a set or some sort of running straight cards. Unbelievable. $1,600 pot. Here we go. Turn is a 10. Well, Irwin needs a 6 and only 6. He's got 2 outs. And the river's a 9, and Avi is going to win with ace-8. Unbelievable. A $1,600 pot.
Wow.
What if Irwin had a king there? I look at it and I'm like, well, maybe Avi had a read on the guy, but can you pick a better spot there to commit $1,600 with
Yes.
ace-8, even if it is the best hand?
I'm not joking. I know what you're talking
Wow,
about.
I-
I'm just kidding.
no,
And I know he watched the show, so he knows, Irwin can sometimes play kind of crazy.
Yeah. I don't
But
think
again,
there's
I-
anybody else who makes that play again.
I just, I wonder if you can pick a better spot there. Unbelievable.
Want to give us some yellows, please?
Wow.
There's no better spot than right there.
Really?
You decide to call
What?
it?
He got all the guys' money.
I know that's
What
what
do
it
you
ended
mean?
up doing, but I'm saying, I guess it's a sick read, but
Eric, you fold up.
Yeah, he made a sick read.
okay. That's kind of like Barry Woods' sick read with pocket sevens. Again, there is no absolute in poker. I just wonder if you can pick a better spot. How would Avi have looked if Irwin had a king there and stacked through him?
How much? Yes, 25 to call.
Now, it looks like Avi here has raised it up in seat 3. We have it up as Eric, but it's actually Avi's hand in seat 3 with ace-6 of clubs.
Re-raise.
And Allen is going to re-raise here.
Allen plays shorts. I don't think he had any more money.
He re-raises. Yeah, he doesn't have any more money. Avi makes the quick call. And Allen's in great shape here. Got about a 2-1 favorite. Wow, look at this. Avi picks up a club draw. Turn is an 8. And the river is a 9. And ace-king is going to win it there.
Bart, this is what poker is all about. The guy made an awesome read and took all the guys' money. I don't know
Wait a
how
minute,
he did it.
you just got finished saying that you could have picked a better spot, though.
No, you said he could have picked a better spot.
I thought you agreed with me.
No, I thought he picked a great spot.
Really?
Yes.
With ace-8.
That's why you were disagreeing with me. Yeah, I think he picked a great spot.
You would have committed $1,600 there
No,
with ace-8.
not me. He picked a great spot. I would never been able to make that play.
I can understand with ace-king or even king-queen, you put Irwin on a higher king. What if Irwin thought he was bluffing with pocket jacks or pocket tens? What I'm saying is, yeah, it's a sick read, but Irwin might think he's weak with pocket tens there, and you lose.
Right?
Right? I mean, I'm just throwing that out at you.
He's right, but he had to have the guy pegged. I mean, I can't explain it. I mean, what other explanation is there? He wasn't trying to bluff the guy. There was already too much money committed.
Checked around on the flop, on the turn, and on the river. Now Jerome's going to throw a little bet out here with the 9. Kind of a little bit of a value bet. He's going to take it down.
The guys on 2+2 will tell us what they think.
So
in a
Kev
few
Knapp
moments.
said to talk to Liz Lou about her disagreement between her and Vanessa Russo and Jean Gluck. Believe me, that will be on the agenda. And then a more important question from Whalecock. He says, Bart, ask Liz Lou if she ever heard of the Massachusetts tube steak. I missed that one.
I'm gonna say I don't get it.
You don't get it? No, I don't think we're going to ask that one.
No, I get it.
Yeah, but recently there's been some disagreement amongst those famous female poker players.
What are they disagreeing about?
Yeah, just
Poker theory?
like I said, I know that Jean Gluck kind of started a thread on 2+2 a couple days back saying, what would you think about somebody's poker blog if they didn't write it? And then kind of inferred that Liz Lou does not write her poker blog. She started it off by saying, what do you think about someone's poker blog if they don't write it? And then, 5 posts later, she says, I've read some things in Liz Lou's blog that I know that she didn't write. Kind of an interesting way to...
Yeah,
Start
that'll
that.
definitely be a good topic for conversation tomorrow.
Queen 10-8 here on the flop. Now, Jerome has got the best hand with Queen Jack of Hearts. He's on the button.
Okay, I'll check now. Go ahead.
And he gets checked over to Jerome, and he's going to bet it.
100. I'm ready for you.
Like I said, I really haven't seen Jerome make any mistakes here so far. I mean, he said he was a limit player. Haven't really seen him do anything wrong yet. The pot had been raised pre-flop. And he's betting about the size of the pot here. I don't think that Eric is going to get involved with a gut shot here to the jack.
I think
Huh? Is he going to get involved here with a check call here? 9s?
he's committed.
Wow, he's going to check raise here, and he's got to know that there's no fold equity. Again, sometimes I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, he doesn't have that many chips left.
I don't think he's expecting the guy to fold.
Okay, so you're just going for the gut shot?
He's going
to the
for
jack?
the shot
Okay.
or hoping that his 9s are good. I don't think he's
Well,
thinking
the turn
guy's
is a
gonna
king.
fold.
He needs actually a 9 is no good because Jerome would have a straight. He only needed a jack there, one of which Jerome had. And Jerome's going to win it there with a queen. Again, a little bit bizarre. And Jerome wins some more chips. Something else I was watching on TV, and we got an email here from Douglas Moore talking about the House passes an internet poker ban. And this was from today. And I don't exactly know how that is going to affect internet poker. And I don't exactly know how that is going to be enforced. But, that is interesting. Again, I saw that on the news out in the casino. And I think they're going to be trying to attack NetTeller and how easy it is to pass money through, like, online merchants, in between merchants, like a NetTeller and a FirePay. God, you would think that there's enough problems in this country and in the world where they wouldn't,
Yeah.
commit resources to try to fight that. It's unbelievable.
500.
Well, they can't tax it, right?
I
That's
don't know.
gotta be
I don't
it.
know if they're trying to regulate it or what. Avi raises here with ace queen. He does not get a caller.
I'm sorry, now what do you want to drink? Okay, just a regular Pepsi.
Button moves over here to
Who do
CD.
these glasses belong to?
That was a gift from our Bluffing Shoes girl, Cheryl, who sometimes comes and plays on the show.
Cool.
I believe we are going to do a chip comp. Here we go, first of the night. Oh, look at the 7,000 on the table. Avi up to 1,800. Let's take a look at the differences.
Matt and Avi need to get to a huge pot, and Matt needs to win.
Well, Matt's up 1,200. I think right before the show he must have been up, right?
Right.
I don't know exactly who he won a big pot off of, but he's up huge. Avi's up over 1,000.
Matt's Irwin is down about $1,000, and Allen's down about $750.
Yep. Queen Jack 9 here on the flop. It was limped around. Jerome's got top 2. He's got queen jack. He's going to bet 40, and he's going to take it down there. Again, we must have missed a big pot that Matt won before the show because he started with 500. And
Well,
got a lot
Erwin,
of
did
chips.
Erwin lose $1,000 since we've been sitting here? Maybe he
Yeah.
lost a pot to Matt.
new player here coming into seat number
Is this
5.
Trevor from last night?
Trevor.
Is this I called you with ace-6 because I didn't think you had an ace, Trevor,
Yes.
from last night?
Yes, yes.
Oh, boy.
A little bit of a suck out there.
Which I didn't mind, but the bullshit excuse afterwards, oh.
7 players.
7-way action here, limped around. 10 deuce 6 rainbow on the flop. Oh, Allen's got top pair. We're going to see a $20 bet out here by seat number 7 with 5-6. And Allen does not even get involved.
Yeah, he's mucks.
Yeah, you know, he's not necessarily looking to get involved with that hand. 9 deuce 6 rainbow flop. Tony takes it down. Button moves over here to seat 1. To Matt. Matt really has not played a hand.
What up?
Email here from Joe McLean saying as far as Erwin's slow playing, he is missing out. Francois has gotten really good at fast playing his big hands. He'll often call out his trips and full houses out loud when he hits them and bet big and gets paid off.
10, all in.
Now we got an all-in push here by Allen. Straddled pot, he's going to bet 110, and I think he's hoping that Erwin is going to call with a kind of an inferior hand. But I am still surprised that Allen has not rebought there yet. Looks like Allen's got some sushi over there.
Like it. I'm getting hungry.
Can you now buy sushi? You can get sushi on the floor now.
Yes,
of
you
course,
can get sushi on the floor.
Yosha's Sushi House.
You want to wait? No, next time you have the big one.
Button moves over here to seat 2.
Thank you, Bernie.
Email here from Bernie McIntyre. Jennifer, you're truly lovely and truly hot. Take care. P.S. With the cameraman, pan over to the booth for a second. Well, right after this hand,
Yeah,
pocket
after
queens
the
here.
pocket queens, that's kind of more important.
Well, Matt is called with a nice little pocket pair. He's got 8s. So we're going to see three-way action here. It's a $60 pot. Well, it's 10-7-7 here.
Matt likes that flop.
Do you think that Matt's going to get involved, though, if Tony makes this continuation bet? Tony's the pre-flop raiser with
I
queens.
could see Matt making us check raise here, actually.
Well, he's in position.
Oh.
It's a $60 bet. I don't know if Matt's going to get involved here. He does not.
He just lets it go.
Yeah. One overcard, trips on board. You know, one of the funny things I actually called you out on yesterday was I thought one of the other mistakes that you made was, here you go, was Trevor betting out when you had ace-jack and it was limped around and the flop was ace-5-5 with 2 diamonds.
Right.
Trevor, who I think is probably one of the most solid players on the table last night, bets out.
He doesn't bet out. Somebody else bet out and he called.
No, Trevor bet out, seat 5 called. No, excuse me, Tyler bet out. You're right. What I mean is Tyler, who was I think one of the most solid players in seat 3. Trevor called.
Right.
And then you raised with ace-jack off. I mean, I can almost make a case where you just fold there. Or you just not even get involved.
That's true. I agree.
I just thought you might have been building yourself a pot up. You know, maybe you don't want to play that big of a pot with ace-jack. You actually got seat 3 off of the same hand. He folded ace-jack, and Trevor calling with ace-6. I don't even know what was going
I
on
couldn't
there.
explain that, but I guess yeah, especially since I just limped in, it's very easy that somebody else could have had a 5 right there. If I get re-raised, there's not much.
Well, I think you're committing a lot of chips from someone who might be sandbagging something behind you or up front. You know,
Right.
A couple diamonds and 5 with ace-jack. It was just something to throw out there.
And even if Trevor had raised me on the turn, that would have been a perfect situation for him to represent the 5.
I mean, I think the reason why I don't get involved in that hand is because of the fact that Tyler bets out, because he's the type of guy that's going to bet out on a 5 as well.
Right.
Now,
That's true.
I'm sure you probably weren't going to continue on with the hand if you received any heat, but Trevor here.
That's my version of going on tilt.
Now Eric is going to pop it up here to 35, a big slick offsuit. Avi's going to call here with 5-6 of spades. And Erwin's in there with 7 deuce suited on the button. King Jack 10 here. Eric's got top pair and a gut shot to the queen. Couple diamonds out there. And he's going to lead out.
30.
He bets 30. And he's going to take it down. Bernie also emails saying, Bart, the bill that the House passed obviously has to pass the Senate as well. But it's funny, you know, because I had thought like 2 or 3 months ago, they went to committee with that bill and it died. And then all of a sudden, you know, in the last month, now it's through the House. He brought it back, huh? And it's just, again, I don't really know how they're going to enforce it, how it would really affect online poker. You know, they're not going to block you going to the site, but again, they're going to make that intermediary, you know, banking system harder for you to get money in and out of from an American bank.
Yeah, I know.
Limped around here.
5 players.
5-way action. Queen 8-3 rainbow. And Trevor's going to bet out here with a gut shot. He's got Jack 10, gut shot to the 9.
And he's got a gut shot to the 10.
Well, Eric has got a pair. He's not going to let it. He's not going to continue on there with 8-9. Trevor takes it down. Button moves over here to seat 6. To Jerome, Boston Globe sports writer. Tony's got pocket queens here in the small blind.
Again, and Alan's got 6s in the big.
Jerome limps in. See how much Tony's going to make this.
What's your name? Avi?
Looks like he's going to make it 35 to go.
All in.
And now Alan on the short stack is going to move all in
Oh, yeah.
from the blind. I don't,
125 to go.
I'm not an expert on short stack play. And again, I don't necessarily know if this is the right move because at most I think you're hoping for 50-50
That's what I was
if there's
gonna
full
say.
equity.
You've got.
I still don't understand why he isn't
best.
rebuying to 500. He's way behind here, obviously. Tony's going to be about a 5-1 favorite. Or 4-1 favorite.
Alan's in frustration mode.
Is he?
Yeah.
We don't really see Alan tilt all that much.
He frustrates easily, though.
Oh, no.
Jack 10-8 here on the flop. Alan needs a lot of help. Alan needs a 6 and a 6 only. And it does not come, and Tony is going to bust
I think
Alan out.
Alan's done for the night.
Yeah, you can just kind of sense it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that Alan was losing earlier today, and that might have affected some of his later play. Tonight.
Where you going with all my shit?
Button moves over here to seat number 7.
How about now?
Got a straddle pot here by Avi. Seat number 3.
If I don't get a big one. Make it 40.
Now we're going to see a $40 raise here by Jerome. He's got King Queen offsuit.
I don't like that hand anymore.
Well, he's in the cutoff. It's a straddle pot. There's some dead money out there. I really don't mind the raise. Got Irwin, who's limped in. You can easily have been limping in with a hand that's inferior to yours. Well, Eric is going to call here, and wow, Avi, he's going to play a little loose. He's going to call with King 9. Eric's in there with a suited ace-5 of hearts. 4-way action here. $160 pot. Well, there's the ace, and here's the inherent problem for Eric. How hard can he play this hand? Ace-Jack-7. Couple of spades. Well, Eric is going to come and lead out here. He's going to bet 100. And again, I always ask the question, if Jerome were to call or to raise here, would Eric commit the rest of his chips, which is 400 more with ace-5? You don't necessarily mind the bet, but if you get raised, can you continue on?
Right.
I mean, Jerome does not have anything. He folds.
Actually, if I'm playing that hand, I might just check fold and let go of the best hand. I'm not looking to play a pot for an ace with an ace-5 suited.
again, it's like that inherent problem of
Right,
playing that
playing
hand.
that hand. That's not what
Which I always
you're
talk about,
looking for.
I really see players lose big pots. Because I saw you call, sometimes, the last few times we've seen you play out of the blind with ace-suited cards.
Right.
Now, if you flop trip aces, are you going to go broke with that hand?
Most likely.
I mean, I think that's the problem with it, though.
Right. That is the problem. And a single ace, I'm usually pretty easy to get rid of.
I mean, if you bet out and you get raised, or you get raised all in, you're comfortable committing there with ace-5 on 2 aces on the board. I mean, I think as you move up, you
Right.
learn that it's just really, it's a big-time trap hand, even if you flop something as big as trips.
Right, because like you were saying earlier, it's not like flopping trip eights, where
Right.
it's most likely it's just good. You're not
Right.
kicker problems.
9-3 deuce here on the flop. Eric's going to lead out here with ace-10. Erwin is going to call with ace-3. Turns in 9. Well, Erwin is still in the lead here with a pair of threes. Eric is going to continue to lead out here. He's picked up the nut diamond draw. And that's going to do it. Erwin's out of there. Erwin is out of there. And Eric shows the big semi-bluff.
He's coming over.
You're ready, I'm all good.
I'll stay.
So I'm getting some information here. Obviously continuing to talk about, there's actually a legislative forum over in 2+2. Obviously the Senate has to pass that bill. It has to be signed into law by the president. It's not necessarily going after online poker per se. It's just, trying to have U.S. banks stop the transfer of funds to, basically offshore casino poker rooms and, like I said, those kind of in-between companies like a net teller.
Right.
So there's a long way to go before there would actually be effects into play. Limit around here. Ace-9-3 rainbow. Eric's going to bet 25 here. He gets checked to him. He's got ace-6 offsuit. And Erwin calls with a pair of threes. Well, the turn's a 5. And it goes check, check here. Erwin turned 2 pair, and Eric did not fall for it. And the river's a 4. And now Erwin's going to come out and bet.
60.
He's going to bet 60 here. And again, this might be one of these cases where you kind of get, I almost call it like Corporation Mike disease if you're Eric. You call with kind of an inferior hand because it's Erwin betting.
Right.
I mean, Eric cannot beat aces up here. Look at that board. If we examine that board, this is what we're talking about here. There is no hand that he can beat with an ace in. Because if Erwin has ace-deuce, he has a straight. If Erwin has ace-6, you're chopping. Any other kicker, you lose. And if Erwin has ace-3, ace-4, or ace-5, he's got aces up.
Right.
I mean, that is really the next
is the
level of
worst
examining the board. There is
hand
nothing.
that he could have.
If Erwin shows Eric an ace, he should obviously immediately fold because there's no ace that he can beat. Zero.
Yeah.
The only thing he can have is a chop with ace-6. But a lot of people don't, work that through in your head. Button moves over here to seat 3. Limped around here. We're halfway through the show, Jennifer. That was quick.
7
We're
players.
no, we're more than half, right?
Halfway through
Oh,
the show.
halfway, wow. Oh, so while we're halfway through the show, I can ask you after this hand.
Well, 3 people have top pair here. Tony's flopped top 2. He bets out King-Jack. New player, John, calls with King-10. He's in bad shape. And Avi does not get involved with King-8. A good lay down there. He's not going to overcall with King-8. And Tony is in really bad shape here. Well, Tony picks up a diamond draw plus a straight draw. Or, excuse me, John picks up a diamond draw plus a straight draw. Tony bets 60 here with top 2. And John calls again. The river's a 5. Spot's quickly $200. I think he put a nice value bet in here again with King-Jack. He's going to bet 60. And again, he's going to get called by King-10. And you look at that board, if you could leave it up for a second. If you're John, you can't beat ace-king, you can't beat king-queen, you can't beat king-jack, you can't beat king-9. The only hand that you can beat is king-8 or king-6, right?
Right.
King-10 you chop with. I mean, you really got to look at your kicker and what is up there on the board. Kind of 2 hands that, easily illustrate that. Tony takes it down there with the 2 pair.
So, Bart, when do you think we're going to get some more limit action on the show?
Well, we've tried limit poker, obviously, on Mondays. It just doesn't seem as popular with the viewers and the players.
Really? Is it just the limit, or?
Yeah, it's pretty much the limit.
No, I mean that it's not like, could they do a 100, 200 game that do you think that would go?
Well, we don't really regularly spread that game here at the casino, so, I mean, it would be fun to watch a game like that.
Yeah, I guess when they get together, it's not very often.
Tony has raised it up here with ace-king. He gets called in 2 spots. John's got the best hand here. 5-4-8. Tony's going to make a little bit of a continuation bet here. John is going to call in position. Turn is an 8. Well, if John thought his hand was good on the flop, he's got to think it's continued to be good on the turn. He gets check to John. He bets 30. Wow, and Tony is going to call, even with top pair pairing there. Here we go to the river. Well, the river's 10. And now is Tony going to come out and bluff at it?
That was his intention, you could tell.
Well, I don't know if this hand makes a lot of sense. John folds. The only thing that you might think there on that hand is that maybe Tony was playing an overpair a little bit conservatively because top pair paired on the turn and then threw kind of a blocking bet out on the river. You know, maybe he had aces, kings, jacks, or queens there. Obviously, 10s would make him a full house as well. And pocket 3s folds it. You want to take that email, Jennifer?
There's an email from Paul. Oh, Bissell?
Let's
Bishel.
get to that in 1 second. Button moves
Okay,
over here to
good.
seat
Thank
5.
God.
Seat open 3 to 5.
King Jack here on the button. Trevor's going to bring this in for a raise. Everyone's going to call out of position with 10-8 of diamonds. Actually, it's 8-9 of diamonds. 6-6-3. Both players have missed. Check, check here on the flop. Turns a 4. Check, check on the turn. The river's a 6. King high is going to be good here. So everyone going to... Nope, King Jack high is going to win it. So go ahead, read that email.
Oh, Paul asks the most important question for Jennifer. Is she single? Does she have a boyfriend? The answer is yes and no. She's single and she does not have a boyfriend.
Really?
Really?
You're not going with Scott anymore?
Not going with the Groves anymore.
No?
No.
The Groves? Anyone familiar with the Groves?
Yeah, everybody's familiar with. They watch Live at the Bike and they've seen someone get extremely pissed. They're familiar with the Groves. But yes, I'm single.
Maybe we'll ask Liz Lou the same question.
I definitely think you will.
Limped
Art's
around
personally gonna ask Liz Lou the same question.
here. 6-way action. $30 pot here. 9-3-8 with a couple of diamonds. Seat number 8's going to come out and bet here with ace-8. Looks like he's got the best hand. John there in seat 8. And he's going to take it down. This table's kind of tightened up as Irwin plays less hands.
Matt, take your chips so they can move in.
And this is an interesting post here by Nathan, too. And this is the type of thing that I would be shocked if we lived in this country and part of that bill included this. I believe these guys are going to chop it up. And they are going to chop it up. So Nathan 2+2 says, part of the legislation mandates that internet service providers block access to gambling sites. I mean, that would shock me. I was talking to Mo, you know, the host of the game, when he went to Dubai in UAE a couple months back. And some of those Arab countries where obviously, like, you know, religious laws are much more stringent,
Right.
they block sites. I mean, can you think of any site coming out of the U.S. that the U.S. government blocks, where you can't go there from the? I mean, that would be shocking. I couldn't even imagine that would be the way that they would try to go about that.
Right.
It's almost like I mean, it's almost like a dictatorship. I mean, what am I trying to, the word I'm trying to use, like a totalitarianism regime, if they were to do that. Eric's going to move over here to seat 1. Erwin's going to move to seat 2.
Matt got up, huh?
Oh, and we got a new player here in seat 4. That's Homan. I don't know if that's the Homan I usually play with in the 5-10 game. It doesn't look like it's, yeah, it's a new player. Now, Erwin here is, he's got ace-queen, and seat 5 raced it up with pocket queens. King 10 of clubs is in the hand. 9-7-6 here on the flop. Trevor raced it with queens. It's a $90 pot. Now, Erwin has got ace-queen of hearts here. And again, it gets checked over to Trevor. Trevor's going to bet 50 with the overpair. Now, Eric has got a gut shot to the 8. A couple of overcards with backdoor clubs. I'm sure he's not going to get involved. It's an easy lay down for Erwin as well. Trevor takes it down there. Again, you can email me, live@thebike.com. Jennifer and I, we're playing 300 min, 500 max, no limit hold'em with 5 blinds. The yellow chips are $5 chips. You see white chips, they're hundreds. Blues are $1 chips. Got a big day coming up tomorrow. You can join us for our big whale game, 2040 no limit hold'em, with guest commentator, the poker diva, Liz Liu. We are also drawing our contest, our guest commentator contest tomorrow. Any archive subscriber, you have to the end of the day today to subscribe to the archives if you're not already a subscriber. If you get picked, you will be able to come into the booth and guest commentate with me. You will win a $500 buy-in into this game. You'll also win a 6-month subscription to the archives. Check it out if you're not already a subscriber. Click on the on-demand banner, upper left-hand corner of your screen.
Is this just a random drawing?
It is just a random drawing. Seat number 5 is going to raise it up here with King Jack. Eric's going to come back over the top with ace-king out of the blind. And we're heads up here for about $80. Eric, the pre-flop re-raiser. Well, King-Jack outflops him. Jack 4-4. Seat 5's got a King-Jack. King of hearts, Jack of spades. Eric's got ace-king.
100 calls.
And look at this. Eric bets 100 and a quick call here by Trevor. Trevor's actually got King of hearts, Jack of clubs. And Eric is in horrible shape here. $300 pot, and there's the ace. Wow. Eric sucks out there. And he's going to bet 200 now. Wow. I mean, Eric is let out in the flop. He's let out in the turn. If you re-raised it with ace-king you got there, if you had something like pocket jacks or pocket aces, well, you're really drawing, well, you're basically drawing dead. Yeah, I just don't know what hand Eric would have let out with twice. Now, he got lucky in the fact that he hit the ace. And Trevor's going to move in with king-jack. And you got to almost think that this guy might have ace-jack here or pocket jacks. I mean, it's really difficult to put him on pocket aces. You've got ace-king. It's 200 more. The pot right now, it's about a $1,000 pot, 200 to call. I just can't imagine that Eric can get away from this. There's 600. We've got to push in for another 250. If Eric makes the call here, it's going to be about a $1,000 pot, 200 to call. I just can't believe he can lay this down with these stats. Yeah, he calls, and he's in great shape. Trevor needs a jack and a jack only, and the river's a 7, and Eric there. He is going to double for him. Wow, sometimes this game plays kind of tight and nitty. Sometimes it plays really wild, Jennifer.
Yeah, I mean, if you think your jack is good on the flop, why not just raise him right there?
Yeah, why wait for the ace to come out raised? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you think the guy's got pocket kings. I mean, again, do you think that Eric would have let out that, much again on the turn if he had pocket kings?
No way. I think Trevor should have raised on the flop something.
If he was going to continue on with the hand?
Continue on with the hand, try to get it over with.
Well, I still think that sometimes you might be able to call one time and see what Eric does, but once that ace comes, I mean, there isn't a whole lot I can beat, even if I think Eric re-raised me with ace-king.
All right, now you're just saying, oh, okay, there goes $100. There goes that pot. You kind of have to give up.
Button moves over here to seat 1. King, queen suited here for seat 7. Ace, jack offsuit here for seat 5.
Oh.
So we got a $25 raise here by Trevor. Call here by Tony. Call here by Eric. Looks like we got a seat open. Oh, actually, that's Jerome. He's just gotten up. His chips are over there. Just got up from the table for now. Four-way action. It's a $100 pot. Trevor with the pre-flop raise with the ace-jack. And look at this. Irwin has flopped a straight. And actually, he has flopped a straight. He's up front. He checked it. He checked it from up front. There's a lot of action killers that might come here. I mean, what if a 10 or an 8 or a 5 comes? Well, the turn's a 9. And again, no one really has anything. But, maybe if Irwin puts a kind of a weakish bet out in the flop, he might get a call from Trevor with ace-jack. No one might believe him.
And now Tony
incorrectly
calling with this flush draw.
Well, Tony's got a flush draw here. He's got overcards, but the overcards are no good. Now, the saving grace for him is if he hits a spade, he's probably going to stack Irwin. Here we go to the river. Well, the river's an 8 now. There isn't a whole lot that... and look at this. It's a one-liner to a higher straight to the 10, Jennifer. Irwin's hand has just gotten absolutely counterfeited here. He's got the bottom end of the straight. It's a $100 bet here by Tony. Look at this. He bets on busted spades, and Irwin folds it. What a great bet there by Tony, representing the 10. Irwin slow played his flop straight. Tony represents the 10 there at the end, and he gets him off the hand. Unbelievable.
Irwin's the last person I'm expecting to lay down straights.
Well, he just had the ass end of it at that point. Again, some things, really amaze me in this game. Butt moves over here to seat 2. Looks like there's a straddled pot here by seat 5. This one's going to get limped around here. 5-3 deuce here. Yeah, Homan's flop. Oh, look at this. 2 flop flushes here. Avi is going to bet out here with Jack 6 of clubs. He's got a gut shot straight flush draw. Let's see if Homan makes a little raise here with King 8 of clubs. Start building a pot up right now. And he is going to raise right now.
And raises to 50.
And let's see what Avi is going to do. Avi is going to call. Maybe playing it a little bit conservatively. Here we go to the turn. The turn's a 10. Pretty safe card for both players. And Homan bets again. Now, the problem here with the jack-high flush is obviously there are other flushes that you beat. Sometimes with a smallish flush, you might just, you might not get involved.
Right.
You lose to an ace, a king, or a queen. And remember, a lot of people don't play a flop nut flush this hard. So I think if you're Avi, you're thinking, well, does this guy have a king or an 8? And look at this. Avi is going to check raise here with the Jack 6 of clubs. I don't think Homan's going anywhere, though.
I don't think so.
I think Homan is going to double through Avi here. With this chip stack, if I flop the king high flush and that guy is good enough to bet right out with the nut flush and check raise me on the turn, well, he's going to get my money. I think I have to put it in here if I'm Homan. There are too many other hands that I beat, like a flop smaller flush. I got to tell you, is he going to push in here or is he just going to call?
There's no way.
I can't believe he just calls. I don't know if...
That's the point. The guy has to give you that other $70.
Yeah, I don't know why you would just call here. I don't think Avi's going to get away from it with the 4th club.
An accident.
Well, the river's a deuce. The pot is close to 900. Avi's just going to put him in. Homan's going to call. And the king high flush is going to win it. And Homan asks him, do you have the nut flush? Yeah. Fortunately, sometimes that can happen. And Homan, welcome to the table there, takes it down with a flop king high flush. Butt moves over here to seat 3. Yeah, sometimes those flop flushes can be difficult to play when you're in fear that you're up against a higher flush, obviously. Got a $30 open raise here by seat 8. He's going to raise it up with ace king offsuit. Now seat number 2 here, Irwin is going to call. Irwin's got queen 6 of hearts, and we're heads up. John against Irwin. Well, John's got top pair. It's a 3 flush board. No one has a diamond. He's going to bet 40, and he's going to take it down there. Button's going to move over here to seat number 4. So, Jennifer, here's a question for you.
What's
And I
that?
don't think I don't mean to offend you if I ask you this question.
Oh, I won't be offended.
You understand why, I love ethnic girls. I love Asian girls and
Yes.
such like that. What are you exactly?
I'm American.
No, but what are you? What are you a mix of?
There's a PC answer for you. I am.
Well, hold on a second, because we've got kings, queens, and jacks.
Oh,
Here.
that's kind of important. Yeah, let's go there.
Seat number, we got a raise here by seat number 7. He's going to open raise here with queens. Seat 8 re-raises with jacks, and Trevor is going to come back over the top with kings out of the blinds. Now, if you're Tony, is this a lay down with queens? I got to tell you, I hate queens here sometimes. You have raised, you've got a re-raise, and a guy in the blind has made a 3-bet. Do you just lay queens down here? It would be a great lay down here for Tony if he can lay queens down. A raise and a re-raise.
Yeah, it's done.
150 total. Obviously, Trevor does not have enough money for you to play this hand to continue on as a set. Sometimes, John probably has actually saved Tony here a little bit because, if Tony raised and you just get a call from John and then a re-raise out of the blind, Tony might continue on. Here, I think it's a rather easy laydown with queens. Unless you think that Trevor's the type of guy that's going to do it with ace-king, and he calls, and I got to tell you, if you're John, this is an easy fold.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is a no-brainer fold. I mean,
There's not a chance that one of them don't have you beat.
The question here for Tony, though, is, like I said, is he just going to pretty much get involved all in with a ragged board? Look at that. He's kind of shaking here. I think for John, this is a clear-cut, easy fold. I mean, sometimes people will re-raise with jacks for information. This is the information that you want to get here. I mean, this hand goes in the muck real quick. And if you're Trevor and you looked at Tony just shake like crazy when he called, are you scared that he has aces? But again, in this game, I think kings is sometimes a hand that's too good to get away from with these stack sizes because people will call this type of line with queens. And that's exactly what Tony has done.
This guy doesn't have very much practice in folding.
Well, I mean, he's played it pretty solidly so far.
No, I don't think he's going to
let it go.
call. There's not. He's
Good
not
lay
gonna call,
now.
but
Now the question now is for Tony: will an ace or will a king save him? Let's see if it comes out rags. Well, how about that? Tony hits top set here. Trevor's going to push in a quick call here by Tony, and Tony just got lucky
no,
here.
he just knows. There's nothing.
Well, Trevor thinks he's got aces. Trevor thinks he's got aces.
Either way.
Yeah. Now, Trevor's going to need running diamonds here, or he's going to need to catch a king. Turn is a 9. River's a 3. Tony's going to win it there. Again, though, sometimes I'm quick to point out I don't really think it's the right call there by Tony. Now, if you were in a deeper game and against a predictable opponent that would only re-raise out of the blinds with aces or kings, and you were getting, say, 15 to 20 to 1 on that re-raise size, and you knew that you could get paid off if the flop came queen, rag, rag, then I think you call there to try to hit the set.
Right.
And you almost have to proceed cautiously if you hit your set, but a king or an ace comes out, because then you might be up against set over set. But if you know if it comes queen, rag, rag, you can really stack the guy if he's got aces, then you can make that call.
And
We're
if you
nowhere
know-
near that deep in this game, though.
If you know that it comes jack high, that you're going to be able to get away from it.
Right. I mean, I remember a hand that Dave played against Allen, Matt Allen, a couple weeks back, maybe a month and a half ago, where it was in that exact situation. Dave had queens. He knew Allen had aces or kings, but he was just trying to play to hit a set. That's all.
Hey, Chad, are you going to go to that table or not? No? All right.
Limped around here to the button. Jerome's got king 9 offsuit.
6 players.
Limped around. 6-way actions, a $30 pot. Queen 5 deuce on the flop. Hey, look at that. Look who's coming into seat 5.
That's
And
Alan.
Alan said, hi, Dave. Oh, look at that. Wearing the beard. Yeah, someone tell Alan that Dave's in Vegas, actually.
Is he? Is Bart here?
Bart is here. What is he
Yeah,
doing
sporting
in
the
this
new beard.
game?
Checked around on the flop. Turns a 9. Might be waiting to try to get into a 5-10 game. Now Eric's going to lead out here for 25. Eric has got Jack 7, just a stone cold bluff. Let's see if Jerome gets involved here. Now nobody bet out on the queen. Is he going to call with King 9? I got to tell you, we talk about this. If Eric bets the river here, there's more of a chance for me calling with the 9 because I don't put him on anything. Well, now the river's a 7. Now he might check now that he has a pair. Now he might check it. And now that Eric checks it, might probably will check behind, and I hope, because Eric has checked here on the river, I'm probably not going to put any more money in, but I think my chances of winning the pot go down because he's checked on the river. And what I mean by that is, I think he checks on the river because he doesn't think he needs to bet. Now, he actually backed into a smaller pair. That's why he checked the river. I would be more apt to call his river bet unless he really flopped a monster there.
Right.
Because would he bet a weak queen there on the river? Maybe. Because maybe he wouldn't think that I would check a queen on the button there. You know, would Eric bet queen 4 there again at the end? Possibly. So anyways, getting back to that question. Are you a mix of something?
Oh, crap. That question. Oh, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, yes, I am a mix of white and black.
Half white, half black?
Actually, it's 38% black and the rest is white.
Mulatto is the term for that, right?
If you break down the exact percentage.
Mulatto? Is that a term for that?
I'm not sure. I never really use that term. It doesn't offend me.
Well, I don't think it's a derogatory term. 8-4 deuce here, rainbow. Pocket 5s.
I have a nickname of 38 Special. I have no idea where that came from, but
So a bet out here by seat 4, pocket 5s. Allen is called with 4-7. He's called with middle pair. He's got 7-4 diamonds there. Now Jerome, he's got ace 8. He's got top pair, and he's going to raise it up a little bit here. Kind of a limitish play. Kind of see where he's at with top pair. You know, I don't actually mind the play because Allen really could be calling with anything in there in the middle. Now, you're raising here to see what Homan does. Obviously, you're going to release the hand. I don't even mind if Allen really calls here. And he makes the call. You know, I might go check here, though, against Allen. The turn's a 9. Because I know Allen's not going to really bluff at it if he has a piece of it. I might have the best hand. The board really isn't all that draw heavy unless he's got 3-5. Jerome bets out. And Allen folds. And you grew up in L.A., huh?
I'm born and raised.
Where, Valley or
Oh, no. I like near LAX.
Westchester?
Yeah, Westchester. I went to Westchester High.
Ah. That's a nice area, right? Westchester?
Yeah, it's decent.
Button moves over here to seat 8. Marina Del Rey, near that, right?
Yeah, that was the hangout.
Yeah. Straddled pot here, limited rounds. 6-way action, $60 pot.
Oh, boy.
4-3 deuce here. We got deuce 4 over there in seat 8. He's got top and bottom.
Which is the best thing you could possibly hope to flop with those 4.
Now, Eric is going to come out and bet here with, looks like ace 6. He's got a wheel draw. Well, we got a gut shot basically to the 5, and he makes a higher straight. And the button is going to raise him here with deuce 4. Eric led out with ace 6 of hearts on a 4 deuce 3 board, and John raised here with top and bottom. Ace 6 of hearts here for Eric. He led out. And Allen called in between. Yeah, Allen called with 8-3. I mean, Eric, this is really kind of a nothing hand for him. I mean, he's overcard if it comes. He doesn't know where he's at because anyone would have a 5 would have a straight. I mean, with Allen calling in between, you almost think he has a 5. And John is going to take it down there.
Deuces and 4s.
Got about an hour left in the show here.
Are we playing no ball here or what? Whatever you want. That's what they told me. I don't know. Get your cards and you tell us what you want to play. I don't know. So far I see low ball. There are pieces on the cards. I haven't seen any pieces.
button moves over here to seat 9. Now, from what I understand, again, talking about tomorrow as we go to a pay-for-service, the first half an hour of the show for non-archive subscribers is going to be free. At that point, when we go and kind of flip a switch, people who are not archive subscribers, not in our list, will be redirected to a page. People who are archive subscribers will just continue on with the regular stream. So there isn't really a big major switch happening. Nothing really should, happen. It's just a redirection of people who are not archive subscribers. Eric's got ace-king here. Alan's got ace-4, and Alan outflopped Eric. Eric raised it out of the blind. Alan had limped and called, and it goes check, check. Well, now Eric's got the nut flush draw. He bets 30. Alan's got the same wheel draw as Eric, and he calls. Eric needs a heart, a king, or a deuce to chop. Well, the river's an ace.
Oh,
Both
that's
players
not good
here.
for Eric.
Well, Eric's going to bet out again, but I don't think that Alan's going anywhere. I'm going to bet 60. Alan's probably going to call here with aces up.
Deuce makes a 1.
Oh, I can't believe is Alan raising?
He's raised him.
Wow. I mean, he's almost played it like he had a flush, but Eric's got the ace of hearts in his hand. It's an easy laydown here for Eric now. I mean, you almost think that Alan has something like deuce 4.
Right.
I mean, against Alan here, I think this is an easy laydown. I'm shocked that Alan raises here with this board. Ace 4. Look at that. Look at that devilish look now. He's got that scruffy beard and such. I can tell you, I like the look.
Guy, though.
Oh, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I like the look. I really do. I mean, he's had that kind of Beastie Boys sabotage look going for almost a year now. I like the look with the beard. Eric is saying it doesn't make any sense, but I don't know what... I mean, because you have the ace of hearts in your hand here, Jennifer, you don't think Alan's making a bluff raise at it. Alan wouldn't raise with just the ace of hearts here, one pair. You would just call. I just don't see what you can ever beat here with ace-king when Alan raises you. And remember, this isn't against typical opponents. We've seen Alan on the show for a year and a half. Everyone who's a pretty, regular viewer should probably know this as well against Alan. He's not going to raise here on the river with a hand that you don't beat. Alan says nice laydown. He shows him a 4. And I would probably think that he had deuce 4. I'm a little shocked that he actually raised there with ace 4. But you can almost guarantee that he either has deuce 4 or he's got ace 4.
Right.
Let's take a look at another chip count here. 6,800 on the table. Let's take a look at the differences. Tony in seat 7 with that big suck out. Up huge.
Big suck out.
Differences? Tony's up 1,400. Avi down to 450 now. When he lost that hand flush over flush.
Yeah, he had about an hour ago. He had 1,700.
Now I don't know how it's possible that Homan is down 1,000. I think he is up 600. How is that possible that Homan is down 1,000 in C4? He's up 500.
I think that was still on Irwin.
Yeah, maybe. Queen 7-5 here, limped around. There's a 3 flush. Tony's going to come out and bet here with King Jack. He's got John is going to bet here out of seat 8 with ace 5, really, with hearts. Well, Avi calls, and Tony's going to overcall here with the second nut club draw. Avi's in there with 8-5, with the 8 of clubs, turns a 4. Well, now Tony pulls the check call lead out on the turn. Kind of a little bit of strength of, a show of strength, and that's going to get the best hands out of there, ace 5 and 8-5. Tony takes it down. Look at this. Somebody's looking for a picture of you online, Jennifer.
Wow.
Are you cuter in person?
Yes,
than
definitely.
pictures?
I am not. Oh.
You have a MySpace page. I know you're my friend. I know you're a Live at the Bike friend, so.
Some of the pictures good. Video, not so good.
Really? What kind of video?
Well, this video.
Oh.
Smart ass.
Pocket Queens over here for seat 2, Irwin. Got a $30 raise here by John with ace jack of diamonds, and Irwin's pushing in here with pocket queens. And Alan is going to immediately call with a couple of snowmen here, pocket 8s. Wow. Without a second thought. I've seen him make this play with pocket deuces. He says, I'm ahead of ace queen with deuces. Yes, you are, Alan. But in this case, you're badly dominated. And this pot is going to be about a $500 pot. Irwin's a
Irwin
big
all in?
favorite, yeah.
And small pair. 7. And small pair. 8.
Here we go.
That's also known as a medium pair.
Yeah, medium pair, smallish pair. About a $450 pot, $450 board buy. Oh, set over set here.
All right, let's go runner, 8 queen.
Yeah, running quads for a jackpot.
Oh.
Allen needs an 8 here. Does not come. Luckily for Allen, I got to tell you, that didn't happen when he's playing in the 1,000 game when he's 6,000 behind because he's going to lose all his chips. Unbelievable. Set over set. Kenny can email us at liveatthebike.com. Got about an hour left in the show. Interesting question here from David Gladstone I'll get to in a second.
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting, actually, because it's really it's
It's
a depends question.
Yes, it does depend.
Yeah. Now look at this. Now, seat number 6 here, Jerome. Jerome has limped in with jacks. I don't mind the play. I don't necessarily know if jacks are strong enough to pull a limp re-raise with. Eric has raised it with 10s. Holman is now going to call. Allen calls. And what is Jerome going to do? Do you just call here? Maybe try to play it as a set, or is he going to pull the limp re-raise? I don't have a problem with just a call here. I really don't. But there is a lot of dead money in there, and he is going to re-raise. And you just hope like hell that Eric doesn't have a higher overpair here. And again, you know, if Eric smooth calls here, you don't get a whole lot of information because he might smooth call with queens, kings, or aces if he thinks the people behind him are going to fold. So here we go. It's a $300 pot, actually $360 pot, heads up. Jacks against 10s. I mean, Eric made that call quickly. And I don't know if Eric thought that one through because I don't think he's deep enough to hit, you know, to make that call to try to hit a set here. Wow, what a horrible flop for both players.
Yeah.
See if Eric can maybe use position here to take it down. And did Jerome check? Yeah, it goes check, check. I think Eric is a little bit confused. The turn's a 3. Jerome checks again. And Eric's trying to figure out, is it this guy sandbagging the full house? I think that's what he's thinking of. And by checking twice, he's going to get Eric to bet here. And now, you know, Jerome has played this hand a bit peculiar. I think he might be scared that Eric has a full house or has aces here. It's a $160 bet here by Eric. Well,
We didn't really get a lot of information from his re-raise pre-flop.
I got to tell you, this is going to be an interesting one. If Jerome calls here, do you specifically put Jerome on jacks here and think you need to bet the river if you're Eric, or do you check it down hoping that he has 9s or 8s? I mean, that has got to be going through Eric's mind, and it should be going through your mind if you're in Eric's spot if Jerome makes this call. Because would he really play a full house as a check call on the turn and then check the river? I don't really buy it. But if he has jacks, I'm beat. So what do I do on the river with 10s? Do I hope he's got 9s or 8s and just check it down? Can I also maybe bet him off the same hand if he also has pocket 10s?
But the thing about betting on the river is if he calls here, is he going to fold the river? I think
know.
the jacks are good. A very specific card has to come on the river.
Yeah, but sometimes people call with the intention of seeing what a guy does on the river if he checks it down. River was a 9 there. So David Gladstone asked, Bart, when you go to Vegas, do you generally drive or fly? And from what you can tell, that most people do the same. The East Coaster in me doesn't have a great perspective on how long the trip is.
Okay.
But I got to tell you, the drive is really not that bad if you do it around times where there isn't traffic. What I mean is not driving back from Vegas on Sunday. If you do it in 3.5 to 4 hours, it's only about 270 miles, and there's a lot of stretch of road where you can be going. The traffic speed is 95 to 100. Easy. That is what the average speed is because there's nothing around there. It's a great drive, too. Anyone has never seen the southwest part of this country, and Eastern California and areas outside of San Diego and LA. California is the Southwest. It is like Arizona and New Mexico and Nevada.
And plus,
It's a great drive because it's desert with mountains and plateaus. It's really beautiful.
it is a great drive, like Bart said, if you take it during the correct times
Yeah.
of the day.
and I'll get to more of that in a second here. Checked around the flop. Turn is a 9. John is going to come out and bet here with a 4. Irwin calls. Irwin did not bet on the flop with top pair. He's just going to call the turn here. The river's a 5. John is going to come out and bet again. Irwin's probably going to call. Well, is Irwin going to call here? Yeah, he makes the call. He's going to take it down.
The other cool thing about driving to Vegas is you get to go to Baker and see the world's largest thermometer.
Well, I actually stopped in Baker for some beef jerky on the way back last Sunday. I also stopped at that place that they serve gyros at, or Heroes.
Bug Boy.
Yeah. I also stopped at that ghost town on the way back just out of Barstow, which is...
off the 58.
What is it, Callisto? I can't remember the name of it, but I stopped there and I walked around, 110-degree heat. I was even thinking, I was so depressed, I was even thinking about driving into Death Valley by myself on Saturday afternoon. But I didn't think it was a great idea because I didn't have any water in the car, and it said from that road from Baker in California, there weren't any services for the next 85 miles.
Oh, not a good idea.
It was a little bit...
But also, I must advocate the after this hand.
Eric is going to raise it up here. 45 pocket 8s. Allen calls with the Jack 4 of clubs. It's suited. And we're heads up here. Eric against Allen. Oh, Allen's flopped the monster. He's got top pair and clubs. Yeah. Not a bad flop for 8s. Look at that. Mo is dragging Allen out of the game.
They want you over here.
Eric's going to bet out here. He's going to bet 60. And Allen moves all in. I think this is a pretty easy lay down here for Eric. Again, Allen is not normally going to be making a semi-bluff, although it is his last hand, so maybe he does this with clubs. And Eric folds. So more on that topic, I mean, I drove there the first time I went there last week because I was staying with my buddy in Henderson, and I needed a way to get around. So I needed a car. It wasn't a bad drive. This week on Saturday, I'm flying Saturday morning, getting there at 11, playing in the tournament, and I'll fly right back out that day. Because the issue for me is I live in West LA, Beverly Hills. If you don't have a really easy way to get to LAX, it can sometimes cost you more money to get in and out of LAX and take a cab to the Rio from the airport in Vegas, from McCarran, than it would be to drive.
Right.
Now, I'm actually going to just park at LAX for one day, so it's not that big of a deal. But, the total driving time, it's almost about the same. I just don't want to be tired. I don't want to drive up there at 7 a.m. and then have to play in a tournament at noontime. It's worth, what is an extra $150 for me to fly there.
Right.
Now, David's got a great deal because he lives 2 minutes away from Burbank Airport.
I was just going to say
So-
that if I fly to Vegas, that's the way that I get there.
Yeah.
Is I go to Burbank. It's a $12 cab ride from anywhere in the valley, and it's about a 45-minute on the plane, and it's really convenient. About $120.
10-3-4 here with a couple of spades on the flop. Now, there was a raise pre-flop by Avi, and he's got a continuation bet here. He's going to take it down. Well, the other thing being, too, with Burbank is that it's kind of a smallish airport, so you can get in and out of security very quickly, whereas if you get tied up in LAX, you don't really save any time because you have to be there an hour and a half early to get through security.
Oh, right.
So,
You're totally right. I've shown up
you
at Burbank
lose-
15 minutes before
Yeah.
I had to be on the plane, and it's nothing.
So
You just
LAX
run.
is not that convenient. You're not saving that much time. But again, if you live near Burbank, you save time. And if you buy in advance, you can get $39, each way on Southwest. It's cheaper than driving there with gas. So
Thank
I hope
you for
that
your question,
answers your
David.
question, David.
Okay, can there be a time limit when someone comes in and does that? For like 5 minutes? I'm serious. Yeah, I know, that's what's bullshit about it. These guys don't think I'm serious, but I am.
Eric's complaining about something. I'm not sure.
I didn't get a hold of it. What difference is it?
I don't know. I don't know why you would complain about Allen coming in and leaving. You can come into my game and leave, do a hit and run anytime in my game. But, well, Irwin and Avi have the same hand. I believe that Avi has raised it up with King-Queen. Yeah, he goes check here. Turns a 7. Irwin checks again, and check again. The river's a 10. And this one, well, both of them have kind of nut no pair here, and they're going to chop it up. And they chop it up.
That's funny because gotten that before.
Email here by Winger Iris again. It says, how do you get away from your flop flush when no other flush card can come? And the only thing that beats you is another flop flush. I lose all the money. The odds of it is 0.8% squared. I don't know if he's referring to how do you get away from a king high flush. Because I think you can get away from lower flushes when you play against the right player and what happens in the right situation. I definitely have. When you receive a lot of heat from multiple players.
Right.
You know, a guy bets, you raise, and now another tricky guy calls in between. This guy re-raises. I think it's an easy fold with a 5-high flush. Which is, again, the reason why I like to raise with my nut flush is to disguise my hand on the flop. Because I think it's so obvious when somebody cold calls that they have the nut flush. It screams it out. 5-way action here. Straddled pot. We get a $25 raise by seat number 4. Homan. Right, he's going to continuation bet. He's hit top pair with the king. Bets 35. Well, John is going to call at the bottom end of an open-ended straight draw here. And Avi overcalls here with a gut shot to the jack. Well, the turn's a 7. Avi is now open-ended. Homan is going to bet 50. John continues to call. He picks up another pair. And Avi overcalls. Now this pot is quickly $275. Homan needs to dodge some cards here. Well, the river is a 6. And look at this. Avi has made a straight. He's going to bet out. John's made bottom 2 pair. It's a $155 bet here by Avi. I don't think there's any way that Homan can call with John in between, but John's got to know all he has is a bluff catcher here. I mean, what can he beat? He can't beat 2 higher pair. Would somebody bet 2 higher pair with a 4-card straight out there? I mean, you might start looking through your head, and you're like, well, how does this guy have a 10 in his hand? Did he check call with king 10, 9, 10, something like that? It looks like John's going to get away from this one. Email here from Anonymous. I assume John is going to fold here.
More seconds, I don't have my decision. What do you want to do? Go ahead. I don't worry about it. I'm just kidding. I'm saving some money. I appreciate that. So if I win, you're going to tip him?
Avi has tipped the dealer.
It's in there, huh?
Again, John only has a bluff catcher here.
It's nobody's spot yet. I'm going to do that too.
You know, the funny thing, if we keep this board up here, wow, is John going to call here?
I can't imagine.
If we can keep this board up here after this hand, whatever happens. I mean, the pot is basically about 600 or 500, 150 for him to call. He's getting about 3 or 4 to 1 here. All he has is a bluff catcher, though. And he makes the call. Now he's going to take it down there with the straight. You know, kind of mistake begets mistake there. I mean, he calls with the bottom end of an open-ended straight draw. Now he picks up a pair on the turn. But what he's got to realize with that 7 is, even though it improves his hand, it actually kills it. And what I mean by that is because, well, now if a 5 comes, anybody has a 6 has the same straight. But now what if a 10 comes? His straight is absolute garbage, right?
Right.
He's got the bottom end of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the 7 hurts his hand. It really does. It doesn't, I mean, even though it seems to improve it, it actually hurts it. Because he's not in there with the value of having bottom pair.
Right.
He called with the draw on the flop.
It's almost as if his draw got counterfeited.
New player coming into seat 5, it's Larry. Trevor is out of there. Email here from Anonymous saying that Jerome is a friend of Albert and Moon's from Boston. Yes. 2 guys I've talked about on the show. They've been on the show a couple times. My buddy Moon runs a kind of a home game. Beat writer for the Patriots for the Boston Globe. Seat number 6. Solid player. Seems like it. Ace, queen, queen here on the flop. We had a pre-flop raise by Avi with 7s. going to make the continuation bet, and he's going to take it down.
I'm hungry. We're getting sushi tonight, Bart?
Tracy's not here tonight, huh?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I know. Yes, that's what I'm looking for, Ronnie. Button moves over here to seat 1.
Yeah, I'll fight over Bart.
Liz, Lou, and Tracy back in the booth here. We got to get a third chair.
Oh, by the way, Bernie, to answer your question, I get told that all the time. I sound like a 12-year-old girl. I don't know why, but I'm 22.
Limped around here. We got a raise by Eric. He's got the 9-10 offsuit. Tony calls. Hugh is in there. We haven't heard from him much. Well, flop pretty much misses everybody. See if Eric makes that continuation bet. It probably would get it done. Now, Hugh, he's played a little bit erratic tonight. Is he going to call with the wheel draw with the backdoor nut diamond? I mean, it's a pretty big bet here by Eric. Doesn't look like he's going to get involved. He does not. Eric takes it down. Calico Ghost Town, thank you. George Varvarin says?
Varvanez.
So bad with his last
Yeah,
names.
me too.
Varvarinich, maybe. That might be it. Varvarinich. George Varvarinich. Calico Ghost Town. You know what I missed, though, because they were actually closed? They have kind of a mystery shack. Have you ever heard of a tilt house before?
No.
Never been in one of those, but
Oh,
it was
look.
closed. I was looking forward to it. Well, Eric's going to raise it up here again. He's got ace-king. Look at seat 2, Irwin. He's got pocket kings. See if Irwin's going to make a little re-raise here. No, just a smooth call.
Oh, why?
Just a smooth call. And he's actually going to get Hugh to come in behind him. So you wonder if Hugh hits a 10 here, is he going to get into some trouble? It's a $150 pot. Well, queen 6-7. Pretty good flop here for Irwin with the overpair. Eric's going to bet. He bets kind of weakish $50 bet. Third of the pot. Irwin's going to min raise it up to a... No, he's going to raise it up 150. Or 175. Now you wonder if Eric had ace-queen in here. Does he get away from it to Irwin's raise? Probably not.
No, Irwin doesn't have enough money.
Turn was an 8, river was an ace. So a tilt house or a mystery shack, basically it's kind of a, it's an illusion. You know, the foundation isn't necessarily built straight, and the walls, I think, are built on kind of a crooked nature, so that it seems like things are rolling uphill. It seems like when you're walking, when you walk downhill, it seems like it's harder because you're actually walking up when it looks like you're walking down. It's a strange thing. I've never been in one before, but it was kind of a famous thing in like old amusement parks and fun houses and stuff. Button moves over here to seat 3.
Tony. Yes. What can I do for you?
Got a little over half an hour left in the show here. 5-5 no limit. 300 500 spread buy-in. 300 min, 500 max. $20 raise here by Tony with the queen jack of hearts. And John is going to call with 8-7 offsuit. Irwin's in there. And we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-way action. $120 pot. Tony the pre-flop raiser with queen jack. Well, he's hit the queen here. It looks like it's good. Queen 6-10. He's going to come out and he's going to bet 75. And that is most likely... Oh, look at this. Avi's going to call with bottom pair. You know, maybe he's going to set up a play here if he catches a heart draw on the turn. The problem for him is that Tony has higher hearts. When we go to the turn, well, the turn's a king. Tony checks now. He's open-ended. And I assume that Avi's going to try to represent something here. Because I don't think he was just calling the flop to hit 2 pair. But he goes check, check. And the river is a king.
Now's a good time, I think, that Tony should check.
Yeah, you know, I almost tend to agree with you a little bit there, because I don't think this guy. I think if this guy bets here, I don't think he checks king queen there on the turn.
No. And he might.
I don't think
He might get him to bet a 10.
Well, I don't think he might not bet a 10, but I don't think you're going to call necessarily from a 10. But you might get him to bluff. I think he might
Right.
check to induce a bluff there on the river, which probably would have happened. You know, unless Avi felt that, you know, the hand just doesn't make any sense. I mean, sometimes I might, you know, kind of float and call in position in an attempt to take it away later on. But sometimes you're trying to represent certain cards that might come out. But if total blanks come out, then you shouldn't give up.
Right.
You got to make the bluff make sense, you know. You know, sometimes I will definitely, you know, call a tight player in position with the intention of representing, you know, one of maybe 16 outs that I might try to represent with 2 cards to come. But if the turn comes deuce of spades, 3 of diamonds on a 2-spade flop,
Right.
there isn't a whole lot you're representing there, you know. Brick, I mean, raised there by Avi. He's going to take it down.
Dina, you have the card?
So, Bart, what do you think is a good standard minimum raise in this game? You think there is one?
Well, in this game, you know, 25 to 30 to 35 to 40,
I
somewhere
see
around
people
there.
raising to 15 or to 20, and I'm thinking if you've got kings and you're raising to 15 to 20, ace deuce isn't gonna get out of there.
Well, I
You're
just,
just
you know,
setting yourself up for.
I'm a big proponent of not really changing my pre-flop raise sizes
Oh,
because
yeah,
I think
I
it
agree.
defines your hand too much. We see it even in the bigger games.
Exactly.
So, you know, I might add a couple of chips more to each limper that's limped in on the front.
That's funny. That's
So,
what I do.
so if my, well, you've been watching
Yeah,
the show, right?
I've been taking hints from you. I was always raised at least a certain amount, and I'll add a couple of chips depending on how many other people come in.
Avi's raised it up here with king 3 suited. Homan is called queen jack, and look at this. Avi's flopped a nut flush draw here with an ace out on board. I mean, that's as good as flop king 3 of spades if you're the pre-flop raiser that you can get.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a big flop for king 3 of spades with the ace out there. I think he's going to take it down. Shows the king of spades. Button moves here to seat 6. So why didn't you didn't go down to play in the ladies event at the World Series?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I had to work.
Here?
Actually, I started working.
Didn't you take
and
a couple
I've
of days off?
I've been moving. I could have, but I wasn't. Honestly, I wasn't that interested. And then I just came in and played the ladies event here.
And you finished at the final table, right?
I got 6. I should have won, but
5-way
next
action
time.
here. Queen 10-6. John is going to come out and bet here with a weak queen. Hugh is going to call with, that is a very weak draw. He picks up the nut flush draw now. And Avi called from behind with 8-10. It gets checked around here. And the river here is a 3, and John makes 2 pair. And he's going to bet. He bets 30. And I think wow, Avi's going to call him. I don't really know what Ivy thought that John was betting out there with, because maybe he's betting out with an open-ended straight draw like King Jack. He doesn't beat the Jack. You know, if he was betting with Jack 9, he doesn't beat the Jack. Maybe he just wanted to see the value, just to see what the guy was doing there with the bet. You know, it's because it's funny. You won a Lips Tour event, what is it, 2 years ago or a year and a half ago? And then you made the final table again at Winning of the Green, right? This March?
At the very same tournament I won, I made 3rd the next year.
Yeah. So you've had some success, right?
Yeah, I've had 4 final tables this year so far. Not bad, since I probably only played 7 tournaments.
Email here from Omaha Larry saying, Bart, are there any Twilight events at the World Series of Poker, like the nightly $500 tourney every night last year? Well, Omaha Larry, I think they do the two $200 second chances, I think. I don't know if there was a 5. I know they do one in the afternoon and one at night. Plus, I think some super satellites. $30 raise here by Jerome. Tony's call with pocket 3s, and Hugh is in there with queen 10. Well, not a bad flop for sevens here. He's got second pair, got shot to the 6.
100.
Gonna bet 100. Tony's not gonna get involved. Neither does Hugh.
Takes it.
And Jerome takes it down there. Yeah, the only thing I was concerned about on Saturday is I'm going to take a 9:40 flight there. It's supposed to arrive at about 10:45. I wonder if I'm cutting it too close. But then again, like, you know, you can miss like a half an hour of a tournament, 3,000 chip tournament. It's not a big deal.
Is that the earliest flight you could get?
No, I can get it earlier, but again, I don't necessarily want to be tired. I could leave at 8
Oh, yeah.
and get there at 9. But what's really the point of that? I don't really want to hang around.
That's true. Well, there won't be much traffic around that time. You'll get to the you'll get from the airport
Oh,
to
yeah.
the Rio, 15 minutes. You'll be fine.
Limped around here.
5 players.
5-way action. To the flop. Queen deuce 9 with a couple of clubs. Well, Irwin's got queen 10.
5.
He's going to bet 35. Looks like he's got the best hand, and he's going to take it down there. So, I mean, here's another question there, because obviously I haven't been a prop now for maybe 6 months now, 7 months, something like that. I mean, at what point do you think are you gonna stop propping at some point? Do you want to play poker now for a while as an income?
I will stop propping when I either make it big in poker or I finish with college.
Or when you finish with college?
Well, I finish with college in a few years. It's a few years
Few
now.
years.
It's 2 years. I'm slowly but surely. I've got a law school.
I
to get
graduated
through.
at a 4-year school when I was 21.
Yeah, but you started when you were 18.
17.
Oh, 17. And you did it full time, right?
Yes.
Yes, well,
4-way action here.
that's for.
We had a raise here by John by seat 8, and Irwin has flopped the nut flush draw here. And look at this. Avi called a raise with Jack 4 of hearts, and he's going to come out and bet with top 2. What a hand to hit here. See what Irwin's going to do. Irwin is going to check call here. Check calls with the nut spade draw. Well, it turns a 9. Check. Pot is about 220, and looks like Avi's betting about 240 here. So about a pot-sized bet. Irwin can only catch a spade here. The ace or the 8, obviously not good. And Irwin is going to make the call. Wow. And this pot is quickly $700, and the river's a queen.
Completely bricks.
And Irwin is not even going to try to represent something here. And Avi's going to bet for value here. 2 pair for value. Irwin is totally missed.
I don't think that's such a great call on the turn.
Really? Button moves over here to Eric. Seat number 1. So you finished 10th in the 194 Ladies No Limit Heavenly Hold'em. $30 Queen of Hearts, February 6th. Why don't they have any of your other accomplishments up here?
You're at the
Henry
wrong
Vaughn.
site.
I'm on the wrong side. Pocket Kings here for
We
seat
got
number 3.
kings a lot on the show tonight.
Yeah, and
Big hands.
He's in the straddle spot. Actually, excuse me, it's Avi in the big blind. We got a straddle here by seat 4. Limped around. Now Avi's going to raise it up here with kings. He's going to make it 65 to go.
I can't see anyone calling him here. And takes
Yeah.
it. Shows one
Take it
king.
down. Total winnings almost $5,000 for Jennifer
Wow.
Langston, huh?
No, this only shows this year. That doesn't show last year.
Really? $3,200 win. That was a limit hold'em event. Sweethearts Weekend, Queen of Hearts.
Oh, that is last year. Yeah, that was limit. That was limit hold'em, and they did the final table with no limit. That's
Wow.
a little
Yeah, that
change
was a
up.
little strange.
Like 400 women in those things.
It's a weird kind of room for a guy to walk into it. I did it a couple times. Just walk into that room, and it's just so much estrogen. And it's like you can feel the electricity. It's like a shock.
You dated one of the girls I was at
Giggling.
the final table with.
Yes, I
I
did.
remember.
King 9-8 with a couple of hearts.
And Bart quickly changes the subject.
Turn is a 3.
15.
$15 bet here by Homan. And he's going to take it down with the second pair there. Yeah, what place did she finish in? 5th?
Like
Like that?
6th or
Sixth?
5th. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
When I finished 3rd. Yeah.
Nice Asian girl, right?
Right up your alley.
Button moves over here to Avi in seat number 3. Limped around here. Avi's going to raise it up here to 40 with ace-4 suited. Really playing a little bit aggressive now as kind of the table has changed a bit. Irwin's kind of toned it down. Quick call here by Homan with king 9 of hearts. Tough hand to play out of position, heads up. Looks like Homan is checked blind. Well, he's hit the king again. Well, actually, he's got top 2. I guess that's what you are looking for with king 9.
That's it.
He checked blind. Avi checked right behind him. And then Homan bets there on the turn, and Avi folds. Again, big day tomorrow. Liz Lou coming into the booth. We got our random drawing for all the archive subscribers. The winner of that drawing, or the one that is selected, wins a $500 buy-in to this game. Gets to come in with me, a dream come true,
Oh,
and guest
for
commentate.
sure.
Also a 6-month archive subscription extension. You have until the end of the day today. So what is that? A couple more hours. Click on the on-demand banner if you haven't done so. And we are starting our kind of a pay-per-view service tomorrow. After the first half an hour, you will not be able to get the show for free unless you are an archive subscriber. So subscribe. Pocket Kings again.
This is true, huh?
Pocket Kings here. This time it's for Jerome, and he's in the big blind, and he's going to raise it up.
75 is the bet.
He's going to make it, wow, pretty big raise here. He's going to make it 75. Big raise here out of seat 6. Again, Patriots beat writer Jerome Solomon there, bostonglobe.com. Check him out. Or actually, excuse me, it's boston.com/globe. I remember. Jerome takes it down. Said he's been a sports writer for about 15 years now. Started off in Houston. Anybody kind of a diehard Patriots fan out there, before they built their new complex in Foxborough, you know, kind of the new Foxborough Stadium, or what they call Gillette Stadium now. They used to do their training camp, I think in Smithfield, Rhode Island, at I want to say Bryant College. Anyone's that diehard Patriots fan, but now of course they have their built, you know, their new facility. Gillette Stadium, man, it's one of the best stadiums out there.
30.
$30 raise here by Eric.
Threes.
Quick call here with a little gap suited connector by Avi. 5-3 of clubs. Ace queen offsuit there. Homan's in there. Pocket 8s for Jerome from up front. And that is going to bring Hugh in there with what looks like 10-4 of diamonds? 9-4 of diamonds? 10-4 of diamonds. 5-way action, $150 pot.
Oh, wow.
That's a pretty big flop there for Hugh. He's got a straight draw with basically some diamonds. And Homan's got top 2. Now, I don't even think Eric's going to bet out here. It's probably going to get to check to Homan, and he's going to bet pretty big. He bet 75 here with top 2. And Hugh is going to check raise all in with the semi-bluff. Now, we're going to have to do some math out here, Jennifer. It's 205. which means that it's another 130 for Homan to call, and we don't even need to do math. It's a quick call.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting about 5-1. Turn is an 8. Q needs a king or a diamond here. And the river's a diamond, and he gets there. Semi-bluff works. And again, you know, we talk about how some players really make mistakes in this game by calling raises when they don't have enough money in front of them. Mistake number one there for Q. He doesn't have enough money. First of all, you shouldn't be calling with 10-4 of diamonds. You need some connecting cards. Second of all, he's got to understand with the check raise there is no fold equity. I mean, unless he's thinking he's doing it for value, that you know that he's more than a 50% favorite even if he gets called. But remember, he only has a gut shot, and he doesn't even have the nut diamonds.
Right. No,
So-
some of you check races all in like that. They want
Well,
they
know
want
there's no
more
fold
money in the
equity.
pot.
Yeah.
They don't want the guy to fold necessarily. I mean, they want the rest of the money.
Pocket queens here for Homan now. Just lost with ace queen.
Monsters everywhere.
Ace king of hearts for Eric. He's going to bring it in for a raise. $40 raise here. Wow, Avi's playing really loose. He's going to call with ace-6 offsuit here. And Homan's going to make a little mini re-raise here. I mean, the problem with that mini re-raise, though, I think you can call here with the ace king of hearts. I mean, it almost smells like he's doing it with aces or kings. Well, Eric is going to call. I assume that Avi is probably going to fold. Well, he's not going to fold.
What is he thinking?
Well, he's getting about 5-1. I can't imagine he's going to lose that much, though, if he flops an ace. Wow, look at this. Eric's got top two. How is he going to play it? How is he going to play it? He's going to lead out, and is Avi going to get involved? I think this is such an easy fold here for Avi.
He's got to already be kicking himself for playing it before the
Eric
flop.
bets 60, and Avi calls. And the worst thing for him that might happen here is if he catches another ace or a 6. It's an easy lay down now for Homan. Oh, you got to be kidding me.
What is
He's
going
going to
on here?
overcall with queens. He just loves his hand so much with 2 overs.
He's looking for a queen. He's got he can't think it's
$420
good.
pot to the turn. The turn is an 8. I think Eric continues to lead here. How about a nice maybe $300 bet here? I got to think my hand is good right now. I don't know what Avi's calling me with. I mean, maybe he's got the same hand. Maybe he's got ace-queen. It's a $420 bet. He's going to bet $275. I like the bet. And Avi gets out of there. Avi gets out of there.
Okay.
River was an 8. River was an 8, and you wonder if Avi was there on the river, would that have made him call more?
Right, I
Because
was
he only
gonna
loses
say.
to ace-king at that point.
Yeah.
He would have chopped it up. I think Avi was going with that. I'm going to call one time, see what Eric does. Got about 15 minutes left in the show. Got a $25 raise here by Jerome with the ace-jack. 4 heads up. Ace-jack against 5-deuce. Tony has called him in position with deuce-5. I can tell you, if you're going to call with deuce-5, not really a bad flop. Wow, it goes check-check. He takes the card. Turns a 9. And now Jerome is going to come out and bet. And you wonder now, you know, Tony, he's got the best hand with a pair of deuces. He chose to take the card. He's going to call. Now, Jerome actually needs here, an ace would not be good for him, and the river is a 9. And this is probably going to go check, check. Wait a minute. Does Tony think he needs to bet here to win? I think he might think he needs to bet here. Maybe get a hand like, say, pocket 7s or something off the hand.
Right.
And now Jerome is trying to figure out, what would this guy bet on the river here?
What is going on? Yeah.
Would he bet a missed straight draw? No, he's not going to get involved with it. Email here from Paul Bischel, or Bishal. He says, Bart, does it ever get confusing when you're reading posts on 2+2 thread or in an email that refers to a hand that happened 10 minutes ago for you? Well, that's why I'm Bart, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even get confused.
Email here from Robert G saying, could you please ask Liz Lou for her racial background? Race is an integral part to poker play, and all my friends were thoroughly interested in the fact that your co-host is 38% black.
I think this is supposed to be a joke.
Yeah. And Eric's got pocket kings here.
There's passing kings around.
Yep. And he's going to raise it up. He's going to make it 50. Irwin calls with queen 7 of hearts here. And again, Irwin likes to play a lot of hands. And look at the seat 5. He's going to overcall with ace-jack offsuit to a raise and a re-raise. $200 pot. 10-10-3. Eric's in great shape here. Seat number 1 here, Eric. He's going to bet 100. He's going to take it down.
Party's over. All done. This is my table. I'm telling you, it's my freaking seat. No wonder you wanted that.
Email here from my buddy Moon saying, Bart, I don't run a home game. I run the only game around. You should fly out for a big game sometime. Let's take a look at the last chip count of the night here. 7,400 total. Tony's in the lead here with 1,900. Avi with 1,800. Eric with 1,200. Let's take a look at the differences. I think Eric's got probably maybe 200 or 300 more than what we have. He's probably up about 500 or 600. Tony, the big winner here. Remember that big hand we had with 3 queens.
Right.
Avi now still up 1,000. Irwin kind of the big loser.
Irwin working on his losing streak from yesterday.
Yep.
Adding about 3,500 to it.
120 all in.
Or making it 3,500 total.
Well, Irwin's going to push here. It was a straddled pot. He is in the big blind, it looks like, and he's going to push for 120 with 7-3 offsuit. Now, Eric's got ace-jack of spades. Does he think Irwin's full of it here? I mean, if Irwin pushes here with a weaker ace, Eric's in great shape. Here, he's probably about a 62, 38% favorite. Let's see what Eric's going to do. Looks like he's turned his hand over, which, of course, you can do in a cash game. It seems like Irwin is just at this point now where he's just in gamble mode.
Whatever.
I mean, normally ace-jack is not a hand you're going to call all in because of the fear of domination.
I'll keep you here, bro. We don't want you to lose.
But, again, if you're in there against a guy like Irwin, you might think it's the best hand, and he's got the best hand.
I would have called. I had 7-10 of spades.
Now, remember, Irwin is not that big of a dog here. He's got live cards. And look at this. He outflops him. He's got a pair of 3s. He leads here. Turns queen. Well, Eric's got a gut shot. He can catch an ace, a jack, or a 10, or a 4. Well, not a 4 for that matter. The river is an 8. And 7-3 is going to take it down.
Up with 7-3.
This is what I talked about a couple times weeks back when I went to the Bellagio and played that WPT all-in game. I really like that game because if you play it properly, you get into situations like this where you push all in with 7-3 or 7-4 suited in that game. And if you get a call by the dealer with ace-jack or ace-9, you're really not that big of a dog. Anyone know what I'm talking about? It's kind of like a blackjack.
I played it, actually.
A lot of people don't know how to play the game properly. You're supposed to move in with your kind of your weaker hands because you don't really want to call, but if you get called, you're not that big of a dog.
Right.
You know, if you've got 6-5 suited and you move all in, the dealer calls you with pocket deuces. You're almost a little, a bit of a favorite.
Right.
Live straddle here by seat 4. I mean, it's really close. Now, Jerome is raced up here with big slick offsuit. He's got ace-king. Got a call here by Hugh with a dominated ace. Wow, all the aces are dead here. John did not call with ace-10, but we've got 10-8 of clubs and ace-5 in the hand. Queen 3 jack. Well, Hugh has outflopped everybody. Now look at this. We get a $100 bet here by Jerome as a continuation bet. Hugh moves all in with ace-queen. And look at Homan's hand. He's got a club draw with a gut shot, and he's going to move all in with the call.
Hey, everybody stand up.
And this is going to be an easy fold here for Jerome, I'm sure. In this pot, wow, look at that. That was a $500 all-in and about a call for less to $350 over there by seat 4. This spot's going to be $1,000 here. Homan's got clubs. Look at this. It's almost a coin flip here. He's got clubs where he can catch a 9. Here we go to the turn. And there it is. Hugh does not have a high club. Homan's he's won here. And that's about a $1,000 pot. Now, again, the inherent problem with that is you don't have nut clubs. I understand he's got some sort of straight draw as well.
Right.
But you don't know if your hand is pure. You don't know if you're up against 2 pair of set. The guy's got to redraw. I mean, that guy could have made that. If that guy makes that move with ace jack of clubs, boy, you're in horrible shape, right?
Right.
You're in really bad shape. Nice hand there for seat 4. Made the draw.
Very similar. Yeah, very similar. That's why he said the tables are clean. No, he had ace and queen. Aces and queens.
Button moves over here to seat 2. So again, sign up for the archives. On-demand banner. Get yourself entered. You know, if you're going to watch the show anyways, you might as well enter yourself into that contest we're having tomorrow. Guest commentary contest. And we're going to see an open all-in here by seat number 9. He might be steaming a little bit here. We can't see what he has, but look at this. Seat 7 here, Tony, he's got pocket 8s, and he's going to make the call. And we need to see what seat 9 has, because I never saw what it is. He's got king-jack offsuit, and Tony's got 8s. So here we go. If we could slow this down, and there's the jack. King-jack against pocket 8s. Turn is a king. He's got 2 pair now. And the river is a deuce. And king-jack is going to take it down.
Yeah. He's saying you. 3 to 5 blinds. 5 blinds. 5, yeah. No. 300 to 505.
Button moves over here to seat 3.
5 blinds. Very similar to 3-5.
Good job, Ronnie.
Whatever.
Play similar.
You think I'm a little bit hyper here in the booth, Jennifer?
A little.
Yeah. That's how I get that mute button.
I just
You can imagine what people would think.
think.
People would hear me
I'm
yelling in
just
the booth
sitting
here.
here, and Bart's on his feet. He's banging against the wall.
Eric's going to raise it up here with 6-7
He's definitely
offsuit.
very passionate about the show, and everybody appreciates it.
Well, Eric's got 7s here. Erwin calls with 4s. $90 pot heads up.
I need a 9.
Here we go to the flop. I got to tell you, I don't know if Erwin's going to get away from this 9-8-5 here with a couple clubs. Eric, he does. Eric makes a continuation bet, and Erwin's out of there.
I think I'm a hand behind. Did Hugh lose all of his stack to the King Jack?
No, Hugh actually doubled through there. He doubled through Tony. Tony called with pocket 8s, but he won there with the King Jack. Yeah, remember, he lost with the ace-queen against 8-10 of clubs from a few hands ago.
Oh, right, thank you. Yeah. All I can remember is he had a bunch of chips with the 10 high flush.
That's the bullshit over there, Ray.
All they do. That's all they do.
All you guys do is argue on that frickin' tip.
All in.
All
Well,
in
he
here.
must be talking, Eric must be referring to the stud high-low table.
Oh, of course.
B-O-O.
Look, seat number 9 is now moved all in here again. This time he's got ace-king. And he might be kind of on a tilt. I don't think, the problem here is that he's only going to run into a hand that's going to call him and beat
Right.
him. This time he's got ace-king. Yeah, we always talk about that stud high-low table, man. I mean, I feel bad for Alan. He plays the game so much. Alan, who played it here earlier, plays a lot of stud high-low. It's just a bitter game. A lot of old, crusty people in there.
Old, crusty
Yeah.
people.
Well, the game itself lends you to be going on tilt because it's such a jawing game. I mean, you can start with, like a deuce, 3, 4, 5 suited
Yeah,
in your first 4
your only
cards.
skill you have in
you
that
get brick,
game is
brick,
your
brick.
starting hand requirements and the ability to fold when you brick on 4th Street. So-
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But, these people have been doing it for 20 years. How pissed off could they possibly get?
It's 20 years of bitterness.
That's true.
Got a raise here by seat 4 with king, queen offsuit. 20 to go. Seat 7 calls here with ace-4 of clubs. And we're heads up. Little continuation bet here by Homan, $25 bet. Well, Tony, he's going to make a little raise here. He doesn't believe Homan. Makes it 50 to go. And that's going to get it done. Again, you know, those might be the types of subtleties that you don't pick up in online poker. I mean, I think that was a clear read by Tony that Homan just was not strong.
Right.
And he just took it away with the check raise. This is going to be the last hand of the night. Jennifer Bankston, thank you so much for coming in here and doing commentating.
Sure, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Again, tomorrow night, Liz Liu. Sign up for the archives. Get yourself into that guest commentator promotion. And tomorrow, after a half an hour, you know, we will be available to only archive subscribers.
Talking about the sit and goes on.
So another reason why you would sign up for the archives.
Yeah, I've played a couple big tournaments, 1,100, 1,200. You know, placed
Limped around here.
times. But it's like a big drag on for the same money.
6 ways.
You know what I mean?
6 players.
9-4 deuce here on the flop. Looks like Homan's got the best hand here with 7s. See if he bets it up. He's in second to last to act here. He bets 25. Now, is Tony going to get involved here with ace-4? Yeah, he's going to check call. And Avi, he's got a gut shot to the 5. He makes the call. Gut shot to the 5, backdoor spades. Well, now he's picked up the nut spade draw. How about representing, well, I was going to say, how about representing aces up? But Tony's made aces up now.
Yeah.
You know, if it gets checked to Avi, I would love to bet that turn as a big semi-bluff. But now Tony's made aces up, and he's going to bet 75. Now, if you're Avi, you know, I don't try to make a big living trying to make a move as a semi-bluff against a guy who might have aces up. But could you represent 3-5 here? Wow, and Homan overcalls with 7s.
What is
And this pot is quickly $300. Here we go to the river. Well, the river's a jack. And Tony checks.
correctly so?
And it's going to get checked around. Is it correctly so?
I think so. Who's going to call him? But they might bluff. I mean, we know that because we can see the cards, but no, he's going to call.
Well, should be debated at another time.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is going to do it for us. Jennifer Bankston, thank you very much for joining me.
No problem.
Again, tomorrow night, Liz Liu, guest commentator promotion drawing. We will be going to a subscription service a half an hour into the show. So we'll see you next time tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific time for Jennifer Bankston. I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.